breathing. You just can't believe what you're seeing. It's you coping the ceiling. The truth it is all day, and now you are molding.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew Esquire, Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Hope you guys are having a great time tonight. I, of course, am on this lovely evening here in Bangkok, Thailand. Hopefully, you guys are doing well wherever you are in the world, whether you are in America, whether you're in Asia, Europe. Good to see everybody here today. Appreciate you all being here. Sorry for a little bit of scuff. I may or may not have completely messed up my setup today. And that was not fun. But we're here now. We got everything. We got everything good. We're all good. What is life without a little bit of scuff? In fact, you know what? We'll start with some memes here. Before I get into anything else, you guys submitted some pretty great memes, which are pretty indicative of my my late start here. This was over from X because I did challenge you guys. If you want to leave me memes, put them on my X account underneath the posts. So this is from last time. What does the S stand for? Scuffed. Absolute gold, absolute comedy gold. We got more. What's the next one here? Oh, this one's good. This one's actually kind of funny. This is obviously me wielding a PowerPoint against a golden goblin. This is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome. This is definitely not scuff. Very good stuff here. Thank you guys. I actually enjoy this one with my PowerPoints. By the way, we have a PowerPoint today. Are you guys surprised? Now it's only like 3 slides, but we have a PowerPoint. So thank you for thank you for encouraging me to continue my PowerPointy explanations. They're much loved, even if my typos are legion. Also, someone did make this. Now I don't have glasses anymore. I used to. I got LASIK way back in the day, but this one was kind of funny. They Phoenix righted me. I guess it's supposed to be me with glasses. I don't know, or maybe that's somebody else. I don't know. Anyways, there's Hank, Johnny, Legal Mindset, based otaku lawyer. I do love that. Streams early, late, scuffed. Today we're scuffed and late. Actually, well, not scuffed. I actually fixed the scuff before, but we're late. So we fill in one category. We're either early, late, or scuff. We're never exactly on time with no problems. Anyways, that's a pretty good one as well. Thank you guys for that. I really enjoy, I enjoy the entertainment value. Edward says, Bensall says, do you condemn Gundam or condom any plea of sanity by yourself or audience for having been subjugated to the alleged disrespect of statue or statues by nuisance streamers in Asia? I fully Gundam that. I fully Gundam it. I Gundam it all. I Gundam all of it. Such a loser. I said scuffed. Yeah, that's so bad. Thank you for the 200 time bot. Oh man. Today has been chock full of scuff. It's my whole day has been full of scuff. But it's good to be here today with you guys right now, and I appreciate all y'all. In fact, my pretty much the whole day's been scuffed, but it's good to be here. And this is one that, of course, is of very big importance. I want to, before I get any more messages, and I'm going to give all the shout outs, I want to give a special thank you to everybody that helped me on this, the Filipino and Filipina community, because a lot of it, I know it's locals. There's some expats as well in there. You guys came up massive on this one. I have been sent so much information. Also, I had multiple people sending me translations from Tagalog to English. So actually today we're going to be able to watch some things and have some translations. I'm going to pull up the translation on the side for one of the videos, so I can kind of play by play, because some of these interviews are really interesting, but they're kind of mixed Tagalog and English. So I had viewers, actually multiple viewers, without me asking. They just sent them. They're like, oh yeah, here's the Tagalog English translation. Here you go. And I'm like, this is awesome, because now we can show these interviews, and they're really good. Like the one interview I want to show, it's a 4-minute interview with the secretary, Remulo, who's been handling this, looks like he's a brilliant guy. He understands social media. He literally uses the word clout, which anytime a government official understands clout chasing and trying to mine clout, they're going to handle this properly because they understand why they're doing it. They understand the genesis of it. A lot of the older generation, they don't get it. They don't get why people are doing this. They're just like, oh, they're stupid. It's like, no. They're doing this. It's actually worse than being stupid. They're doing it intentionally to gain something, to gain attention, clout, views, clicks, etc. And they understand the danger of that. So we've got that interview. So thank you. A lot of people wanted to remain anonymous. So there's some people, I won't say their names, but thank you, Chase, Angel Chase, who was one of the students helping me. Also, there were 2 lawyers that messaged me. One, I'm not going to say their name because I had their actual, so I'm not going to say the name. But the other one, that under the handle Goldfishy, you know who you are. They're a member of the Filipino bar, and they sent me some good information. So, it's shout out to the Filipino lawyers. I am not a lawyer in the Philippines, so I deeply appreciate my comrades at the bar in the Philippines helping without information from a legal perspective. And it's certainly fascinating. And we're going to talk about the Philippines law because they actually have a way in the law to prosecute things and make it easy to convict Vitaly, which is awesome. I'm so glad that they have the ability to invoke special law in the Philippines that can make his conviction simple. And because of mandatory minimums, which they do have under certain statutes and charges, it's very possible, the minimum sentence is significant. And beyond that, the process is going to be amazing. Like we've talked about, the process being the punishment, we have a guaranteed minimum amount of time he's going to spend behind bars in a Filipino jail with no special treatment. This is amazing. This is beyond Johnny Somali levels. I mean, frankly, if Johnny Somali was in this conditions, he would break. He would 100% break. If Johnny and Vitaly switch places, Johnny would be absolutely broken when he comes out of this. He would not survive. That kid would not survive. We're going to talk about that today. Real quick, K. Kerbal says, can Vitaly plead no mens rea due to non-compass offenses? No, actually, it's funny. We're going to talk about that. Mens rea under certain Philippines law doesn't matter. So we're going to talk about that today. But let's get to all the memberships because we've got a ton today. Phoenix DS with 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you. King Lugia with 5. Razor Wire Piercing with 5. Az with 5. JP Ravenfire, one of my awesome mods. Thank you so much, JP, with another 5. And that will, I think that already gets us up there to like 50 memberships. Like, what is that? Let me look behind the house here. Yeah, that's pretty significant there. So thank you guys very, very much. My lawyer math, I have to rely on YouTube to add because, they didn't teach us that in law school. But appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. It's been amazing. And thank you for all those donations. It really, really matters. Thank you. Phoenix Diaz says 5 years plus whatever he gets to be deported is going to be a while, maybe 7-ish when he's finally deported. That is very realistic. So, if we're talking about 5 years as like a mandatory minimum plus the hearing time, which we're going to talk about today, 7 to 8 could be very realistic. And that's not being hyperbolic. Now, I have seen other channels and I know what Atozi, a good friend of my channel, like facing 27 years. Okay, maybe that's true. Although actually, all the lawyers, all the actual Philippines lawyers, they actually, both of them that I spoke to, said they don't want to comment on what the maximum could be because at this point it's speculative. It's too speculative. So really the only thing we can talk about is the minimum. But I'm happy with the minimum. I'm super happy with the minimum from a criminal penalty standpoint. And just knowing the minimum is what's really important here. And knowing especially the minimum amount of process is a bullet. It's amazing. Colin says, aloha from Hawaii. Hey, aloha. Enjoy the lovely Hawaiian Islands. One of the places I have not been in the world. And I do need to get out there. I just, growing up in Florida, going to all the Caribbean islands, I was always like, man, I got to fly so far. It's so expensive to go to Hawaii. But I've seen such beautiful pictures. I've heard such great things, the people being super hospitable. So I do need to get out there. I do need to get out there in my life. Justin Tan, poke me hard for 10, says, just made it in time. Made it right at the start. Hey, awesome. Bloomin' Days for 5 says, I've been telling my mother what's been happening in her home country. She's unfamiliar with Vitaly, but she is blessed Filipinas are taking action. Yeah, and I'm sure if you showed her the video, she would not be happy with it. And this has gotten all around Philippine social media. It's gotten all around the news. It's on major news. We're going to watch actually a news broadcast on this. And this has got the attention at the highest level. It's got the attention of the office of the president, which is handling this during an election season. So, you know, when there's people messing with the Philippines at large, if you're a influencer, this is the worst time to mess with a country. During the political season, you are going to get absolutely punished so that they show, hey, I'm hard on crime. I'm hard, you know, we're going to take a strong stance on this, because the other party that's not in power will say, hey, you're soft on crime. So you're going to try to go hard. It's not good to mess around during election season. And especially when this is a unifying issue. This isn't really, you know, Vitaly isn't a left-right issue. It's not a political issue. Vitaly came in and insulted the Filipino people. He insulted the country. He insulted the culture. He insulted everybody. It wasn't just coming in to say some speech or something like that. He came in to harass and attack Filipinos, right? Yeah. It's great. It is great. Yeah, he is cooked. Yep, that is a great thing. Also, Shab's Inevitable dropping 5 legal mindset memberships. Matawaguru Robbie dropping 5 legal mindset memberships. Ivy Fufu as a new member. Jordan Joestar for another one. And did I get all the memberships there? Thank you so much. Thank you for all of that. Let's play a little clip here as a thank you. Yes. Chrome Job says legal mindset, Uba Alice. Looking forward to more news. Thank you. People actually got this is really funny. My German speaking brothers and sisters. I actually got a German speaker who complimented me. I was like, no, your German isn't that bad. I'm like, okay, you're being very nice right now. But if we tried to have a conversation, it'd be super broken. They're like, if you ever want to practice, let me know. I'm like, no, maybe one day I will. I do plan, at some point. I have a lot of family in Europe and in Switzerland, Austria, Germany, Luxembourg. And I do plan on getting out there. Maybe there'll be a Europe meetup and you guys can give me some German lessons. But thank you guys. I appreciate all my European viewers. You guys are awesome and really supportive and really great part of the community. So thank you guys. Vielen Dank. JP Ravenfire says whipping out the PP a lot lately. Yeah, the PowerPoint is powerful. It's a powerful PP. And you know what? That's really can be used to convict Vitaly. King Lugia for 30 Malaysian ringgit says, with how jacked he looks, Vitaly could have gotten clout and more relevant by posting some thirst trap gooner videos instead of nuisance streaming. One of the things I'm looking forward to is Vitaly's muscle mass draining away in Philippines prison. He will not be receiving. We're going to actually talk about this today. We're going to talk about how much he's going to get for food, which is insane. He will not be able to maintain even that muscle mass in jail. It's not possible, right? First of all, he's not going to have any juice. He's not going to have any steroids or whatever else he's taking, whatever else he's doing. But beyond that, he won't be able to be like chowing down on, 6 chicken breasts a day. Whatever he's got to get his protein in. He's going to be definitely cut back with his subsidy in his subsidy in the jail. Actually, I got to calculate it here. I'm not gonna drop it yet, but it's really low. When I tell you guys how much he's getting, you're gonna be surprised. Big Buddha says, you say PowerPoint, but are you really using PowerPoint and not Canva in presentation mode? Big Buddhist, you just called me out. I think this anime girl has something to say about that.
I don't care. No one asked, bro. No one asked.
Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. Coping and seething says Dementia 99. Thank you. Spark 68 says before Vitaly, is there RKI trial? No. So I will give you guys the announcement. I announced this on my X. I announced this on my YouTube. I put it into the community tab. There is no Somali trial tomorrow. We have an official notice from the court that it has been delayed until May 16th. I post all these updates on X as soon as they come out. I'll share this with you guys right now. There is no trial tomorrow. I may have to make a separate video about this, like so people know. But that has been moved to May 16th. That is based on a motion from Ramsey's public defender in the Western District. It is still going to be at the same courthouse, still at the same courtroom, room 406 in the Western District Courthouse. So it's going to be on May 16th. That's the date we have as of now. Now, could they motion further to delay it? Sure. But remember, they're just making this longer. This is just the plea hearing. There's going to be multiple other dates that are spread out. Are you guys noticing a pattern here? How much time did they delay this by? 1 month. The standard amount of time between trial dates is a month. So every time it's delayed, it's another month he's staying there. We are going to pass. I guarantee you, he will be in Korea already before he gets to sentencing. He will be there over a year. He will have been in Korea over a year. So we can already say effectively he's been locked in Korea. Now he's not under the same situation as Vitaly. And you know, if he was under the Vitaly circumstances, I would be happy. But he is running out of money. And that is a situation where he may be having to be near the same budget as Vitaly is in jail. Norbert Fronig for 10 euros. This is a little tip for the tip jar. Danka. Very good. Very nice. You're trying to dethrone the Queen of Scuff Monarch. Thank you. Peter Bark says donating to the Swear Jar and the Free the People Club. And the Free People Club. Thank you so much. Why do you guys think I'm going to swear today a lot? I'm actually trying to be family friendly today. Shab says scuffed. Thank you. Kaishima says tip for the Swear Jar and thank you for the membership. Am I that bad? Hold on. Okay, we're making a poll in the chat. This is offensive to me right now. Okay. Do you think I swear a lot? Okay. Yes, no, or no more than my no more than my grandma or grandpa. Okay, there we go. Give you 3 categories there. Okay. Phoenix says, forget death by snoosu. It's death by pee-pee in here. That's PowerPoint, people. Blake C for 99 says, good thing Vitaly is our prison seem fine accommodations. I'm sure he'll enjoy their time in prison. We're going to talk about his accommodations. They are interesting. Ryobi says, wait, does the Philippines have caning like Singapore, Malaysia? If they do, the legendary weapon of all Southeast Asia will crack the heavens. His bum will split like the Red Sea. They do not have caning, but what they do have is amazing laws for punishing crime. So we're going to get into that. Kiertna says for 10, aloha from Hawaii as well. Well, we got a lot of Hawaiians today. Hopefully you get to visit the different islands. Each is unique. Maybe a cruise ship between them is a good intro, but flights are easy. I'd avoid the major tourist areas. I typically feel a duty to go to the major tourist areas for like a minute and just see them and then leave. So that's typically what I do. I mean, if I really enjoyed them or they're not as bad as I think they are, but typically if they're crowded with people, I don't like to be there. It makes me it ruins the experience. So sometimes with the major tourist areas, I'll try to go when it's like an off time or later in the day or really early, so I don't have to deal with the hordes. Although the trail for Ramsey has been delayed, trial for Ramsey, that's good as he's burning through more time and sugar money. As for Vitaly, it seems like he doesn't truly understand whose house he's in. He still thinks he's going to get out because it's just a prank, and nobody is coming to save him. Some people mentioned to me like, oh, what if somebody on the outside comes to save him? Who's going to save this guy? I don't think anybody's going to come to save this guy. Megal Linset. Megal Linset says RKS trial didn't seem to deter nuisance streamers. After Vitaly, there's more in Japan now. Maybe the incentive is too great. Is it a thing to file class actions? I think they need to go after the funding. So for kick, that's gambling. So until they handle gambling and find a way to address that, that's a thing. I will say this, and we're going to talk about this because we're going to talk about the cameraman today. Who filmed this for Vitaly. A lot of you guys, especially my Filipinos and Filipinas, you guys sent me a lot of information on the cameraman, and we're going to kind of talk about him. He's kind of gone into hiding out there, but he is actually directly linked and completely BFFs and homies with the nuisance streamers and that crew. He's part of that crew. So there is like 1 degree of separation. It's pretty much direct between Vitaly and all those other nuisance streamer crews out there. So what I do think is that this will stop them from the Philippines. Japan does need to, specifically as a country, go harder on this. I do think Japan can take some notes from the Philippines and can say, hey, we're going to handle this like the Philippines. And because I will guarantee you there will be no more Vitalys, no more nuisance streamers in the Philippines. I guarantee you, after we talk about what we talk about today, they're done in the Philippines. There's going to be no more. I promise you, there's not going to be a horde of people coming in and doing the same thing that Vitaly did. Now, could there be somebody being a little bit, doing some comedy or something like that? Maybe, but they're not going to dare go and cross the lines that Vitaly crossed. After they see these consequences, a person like Vitaly or Somali would immediately get locked up. If Somali magically escaped on some sort of tuna boat, that's using a joke from the other day, a long distance tuna boat that somehow went between Seoul and Manila or whatever, Cebu, and he went to the Philippines, and Somali tried to do the same things, he would be treated the exact same way, if not harsher, because if they saw that it was escalating, they would probably come down even harsher. Phoenix DS says, as a Canadian, we made the Americans blush at Fort Hood by how much we swore. That's no small feat, unless you're talking about Pippa's feet. Now that's degenerate. Bronwyn says, I saw that Ramsey was clowning on Vitaly, saying he was free to do what he wanted. Unlike Vitaly, I don't think he's in a position to be clowning on anybody. Seriously. Sister Luchai, thanks for the 5 legal mindset memberships. Chronicling Mayhem, so check your update tweet. Meme, hail the 199. I will check that later. Ned says, as a fellow American, you don't swear enough. Well, I wish to America. Fuck yeah. Is that good enough for you guys? That's good enough for you guys. Okay. There's a lot of chats here. I'm going to get 3 more and then we're going to go. Rolandus Ludovictius says, for 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Guys, if you received a gift membership today, please say thank you. Gifters in the chat. If you received one, whether it's recently or early in the stream, it helps us out big time and really helps out the channel. Ronan Unplugged for 500 Philippine pesos says, which, by the way, 500 Philippine pesos is more. Let me do the math here. Hold on, I need a calculator because I don't math so good. Legal mindset math here. Hold on, let's do it. Let's see. Okay, yes, this is more money than Vitaly will receive in an entire week for his food subsidy. One super chat, this one, is more than Vitaly is going to receive in an entire week. For his food subsidy in prison. Think about that real quick. This is what he decided to go to jail for. This is how much he decided to go to jail for, less than if he just did positive content and got 1 Philippine peso, 500 Philippine peso super chat. I'm dead serious. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious. This is not hyperbolic at all. I did the math and I used a calculator. And no, he cannot buy roids with his subsidy. Rayopi for 10. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. World's worst gamer for 500 pesos, 500 pesos. Once again, more. We've got 2 weeks of Vitaly's food. Thank you. We're just going to calculate the Philippines donations in weeks of Vitaly's food. I should have a little bar like weeks of Vitaly's food in prison. I'll still hold my promise when Vitaly is the new Billy Bead. I'll personally deliver the balut. Let's go deliver the balut. Zoolander says grandmas might be the source of swearing. I'm not going to blame grandma, but grandmas can be kind of spicy. Grandma's going to be spicy. Ace Squirrel says, are you going to fly back for his scheduled? No, it's not tomorrow. It is on now moved to the 16th. So I am not flying back, was not planning to fly back. And I will be back for certain hearings, but I'm going to keep my attendance random. I'm not going to go to all of them. I'm going to go to some of them, and I'm not going to announce it. It's going to be unannounced. So whether I go or not is a surprise. He's going to have to figure out, is he going or is he not? Like the shocker. And that's going to be the surprise there, because he's going to try to act up and do crazy stuff. So we're gonna work around that. It's going to be fun. Ingriel DL for 125. ENGR DL says Interior Secretary Remulia. Thank you. Is a powerful man. He's like a mini president. He supervises police, jail system, and local governments. Ooh, cool. And he's also smart. Okay, Remulia. Thank you. I'm very careful, because like growing up learning Spanish, my instinct when I pronounce a lot of the names is to pronounce it in the Spanish way, and it's just like a gut instinct. So I have to make sure like I'm not projecting that pronunciation, right? It's kind of happens with a lot of like I do it with like Romance languages as well. I'll like slip into a Spanish way to say something, like, and it might be pronounced slightly different. So yeah, no, it's but thank you for that. Also, just realized his initials are VD. He's just toxic too. Thank you for Razorwire. And Thrift says, keep on doing the good work. Okay, we have 27 other chats. I will get to all of these later. So I will get to all these. We got to get to some content here, because we're content kings over here on the channel. Let's start with this this update here. So we had an interview. This is one that I haven't shown. So Vitaly messed around in Boracay as well, and I hadn't shown much about that. So I want to show a little bit about this interview. They interviewed the folks in Boracay who were harassed in this television interview, and I may or may not have a crush on this announcer, but this was actually really good, talking about what they did with the issues in Boracay. So let's listen up to this.
Yeah, so basically, we had a previous guest. We were talking. It was like nice talk, and suddenly this person appears there, and then he was streaming online already. Now Limo took care of them, and I went to the office just to tell the guys we're going to use this board.
So this is, by the way, this is the guy Nicola. He's actually the he's the owner of the business, Wii Sports, and he's one of the ones that was harassed in Boracay.
And prepare the batteries. And I basically didn't see what happened there. So basically, when I left, Limo was there doing the briefing. And of course, later on, I found out on his streaming platform what he did. But of course, I didn't see what generally happened there. But when I came there, Limo was shaking, and he was like, "Sir, can you do the briefing?" I was like, "Oh no, it's Giorgio. I can't do the briefing." And he was shaking. So and I asked him, what that he should wear the.
Once again, this is him in Boracay. He's messing with them. He's messing around, right? And the guy next to the Nicola is the instructor, right?
And the helmet. We're doing the electric ETH Wallet rental. So it's a new eco-friendly water sports in Boracay, and it's amazing water sports. So that's basically what we do. Lingwal basically is our head instructor.
So pagpunta nila sa spot namin, and then may isang talagang na tour guide na nagdala sa amin doon, which is mag-avail daw ng e-foiling. And explain ko sa kanya, ma'am, na sabi ko, sir, magkaiba po yung surfing, and then magkaiba po yung e-foiling. Surfing is, magpapadol tayo. Ito naman kasi, ma'am, which is remote na gagamitin natin. Yung lang doon, ma'am, which is nag-insult to, pahiya sa mga tao, habang naka-live po siya, ma'am. So, doon po, ma'am, like, nahihinig na ako, like, hindi ako makapag-focus sa briefing ko. May mga 3 position pa siya na ginagawa na hindi kaya-kaya tignan sa mga tao. First time po nangyari na magkaroon kami ng ganitong klaseng guest.
So just chill.
Sa almost 3 years, like sobra 2 years na ako nagtatrabaho dito sa Wii Sports na to bilang head instructor. Eto pala yung nagkakaroon sa akin na gawa na ako ng ganito and then pahiyak sa mga tao.
Is this the first time that you've encountered, Nick, being a foreigner yourself doing business in the Philippines, is this the first time that you've encountered somebody of that character who was maligning and disrespecting the locals?
If I can say something, I've never seen this in my life.
So that's the quote I wanted to really get there. This guy who's been there he runs his business, right? He's never seen this in his life. And that's one thing I wanted to get out there. I wanted to get past that. I knew I watched this before, so I want to get past that little Tagalog second. So thanks for bearing with me. There was some video in the background. But most people are not like this. Most people visiting Japan, Korea, the Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, wherever in the world, that is over here in Asia, most people are respectful. I see 99.99% of people are respectful, right? And this is beyond the pale. It's not like this is something that happens every Tuesday. It's not like this is something that that is just happening as a plague. It's really this guy, which is why he should be punished, because it's so above and beyond what is normal. And it's because he was streaming, right? That's what caused him to ham it up, to act it up, to act so rude, because he was streaming it, because he knew he could get attention and clout the way of Johnny Somali, right? The Somali Bushido of clout. And he literally, just like Somali, ended up in the exact same spot. We'll listen to a little bit more, and then I have another interview, which what I'm going to do is, that one is like part Tagalog, part English, but I have the translation. So I'm going to let them speak, and then I'm going to read the translation, but we'll finish a little bit more of what he has to say here.
Like, this was when I saw it later on, because he was streaming online, and one of the person from the world, it was like, he's insulting your company. He wants to diss your company. I was like, what? And then we suddenly received, 5-star. We have only a 5-star. We're trying to really take care of the reputation. And suddenly I received on the Google 1-star, was very rude, message like,
So Vitaly was telling his viewers to brigade the Google reviews. So they had been a 5-star, like perfect scored business, and he was saying, go brigade their reviews, which, by the way, they do talk about this, that can be a cyber crime, to say, hey, you need to go and maliciously attack this business for no good reason, right? You need to go to harm their business, right, without any justification, any good justification. It's not like they gave bad service. It's not like they did something wrong. It's not like there was any fault on their own. And Vitaly is telling people who haven't even gone there, right, who haven't even participated in the business, right, to go there and brigade it. By the way, many Asian countries, like for example Japan, there's famous case law in Japan where if somebody writes something defamatory, right, they can actually make Google remove it. So in Japan, they've actually had situations where people have removed defamatory stuff from the Google reviews. So I don't know if the Philippines has law like that. That's one of the legal things I'd be interested to learn. Maybe I can talk to my lawyer contacts about that one, whether there's some way in the Philippines for them to kind of petition to remove that, and they can kind of show, hey, this happened, can you remove these? Because this guy doesn't deserve for his business to be maligned like that. And that's horrible, and somebody's going to see that, and they might not go and purchase with him. Right. And it's ridiculous to punish a business for what? They did nothing wrong. They didn't do anything to Vitaly at all. They just said, hey, look, you got to follow the instructions to be safe. That's all. Right. That's literally it. That's literally all. Les says a nation's honor and dignity are not for sale. Exactly. Maki Paki for 50 pesos says, thank you for coming, Vitaly. My pleasure. My pleasure. Schmucker for 2 says, all clout is good clout. Clearly not. Yep. I'll also get this one. It's off topic, but I'll get it. Logical Beast for 10 pounds says, how considerate of Korea to push RKI's trial to May, the month of my birthday. I level up. Well, that's a good way of thinking about it. Thanks for the early birthday present, and may the cabbages be with you, jackass Somali. Yeah, that'll be good. John the Stranger, also welcome as a new member. Thank you. Also, 200 Watt Studio asked, wasn't this guy arrested for beating up a girl a few years back? Was he on drugs? He did. He was arrested for randomly punching a female jogger in Miami, on Miami Beach. Real crazy. Also, Storm Overlord for 4.90 says, Andrew, it's okay being late for the stream. You're just practicing Filipino time. Mabuhay, brother. No. I'm trying to be on time. I'm trying to be a good boy. Things happen. Bullet in my beard says, I'm not gonna lie, ich mag es wenn du Deutsch sprichst. Oh, danke viel. I appreciate that. I try not to slip into it too much, but I do appreciate it. I love all my German viewers. I love you guys. And also C-Chan for 6.98 Singapore says, I wish Korean and Japanese police act the same way the Philippine police to Vitaly towards Ramsey and the nuisance streamers, name and shame them. Yeah, and jail them quickly, and they will not come back. They will not do this, and they will cut their behavior. And you can even see right now a lot of the nuisance streamers that are still in Korea, they've been almost dead silent because they see what's coming down the pike. They actually know it's serious. They also know the one thing that they all know They can say I'm exaggerating about X, Y, or Z, but they know when I talk about charges, I have a 100% track record for things I say that they're indicted on. When I say they're indicted, which means the court has taken the charge officially and it's on the docket, I'm 100% right. I've been 100 for 100. I've never said something that they've been indicted for something they're not. If I've said it's on the record, it's on the court, it's going before the court, it's going before the court, right? So they're hearing this and they're getting scared of what's really coming down. Also, Amanda May says, hello, you wonderful people. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Oh, well, welcome. All right. We'll get to the rest. I know there's 24 more chats. I'll get to the rest, but that was a good little interview there. We've got another bit, which is longer. So this one's a little longer. Now, this one is really cool. It's with Secretary Rumula. And this was a pretty good interview. I think it was with ANC. So I've got a translation for this. So let me pull this up and I'm going to try to do this live. I may scuff it bad, but I'm going to try to translate this live. So let's go with this. This was done by the news. I believe this is actually really recent. So we're going to try to go and do this live. Thank you for contributing the translation. Here. I really appreciate those that gave me the translation. Maybe one of these days I should just have a Tagalog speaker like live with me so they can just do live translation instead of me reading. But thank you guys for helping me with translation. It's really awesome. Okay.
Lumabas sa video nung binabasahan siya ng Miranda rights, nagkikiss pa siya, nagfa-flying kiss. So clearly it's for...
Okay, so let me do the little translation there. She said, it seems in the videos when he is being read his Miranda rights that he's doing a flying kiss. So clearly it's for his YouTube to get more views, but what happens to him now? So
for his YouTube, no, to get more views. But what happens to him now?
Kasi nangyayari dati, tuwing ginaganyan siya sa ibang bansa, i-deport lang siya.
Oo.
I-deport siya, so tapos na. So, mission down, bye-bye Philippines, kala niya gano'n na lang. Eh, siyempre, hindi kami pumayag. Pwede ba namang babay na lang, gano'n na lang, ginagawa mga Pilipino, tas gano'n na lang?
Oo.
So, napag-desisyon na namin, kakasuhan namin.
Tama. So, pwede ba siya?
Okay, so what the secretary there, by the way, that's the secretary on the right, on the left. What he said is, by the way, yes, he is actually pretty swole. The secretary is pretty jacked. I think he could beat up Vitaly. But what the secretary said there is because of what happened before in other countries he visited, if he just gets deported, then mission done, bye-bye Philippines, he thinks he's okay. So, of course, we didn't agree. Does he think it's only goodbye? He says gagao, which is a foul word. Like this is a note from my translator. Gagao is a G-A-G-O is a foul word like a-hole or jerk. He is being an asshole or jerk to Filipinos, and he thinks that it's the end of it. So we decided to file the case. I do love that he calls him an asshole. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty based. Go. Okay. Am I pronouncing idiot? Okay. Well, anyways, that was in my translation notes. So sorry, guys. I don't know all the Filipino swear words. Don't kill me, guys. The speaker's here. Okay. Gago, not gagao. Okay. Gago. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm getting like instant Tagalog lessons. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it in the chat. Appreciate it. Give me a little bit of forgiveness for my horrible pronunciation. All right, let's continue.
Siyang makulong? Sa mga pinagagawa niya, makulong?
Opo. His cases now, I think there are 5 cases filed. All of them are
5 cases already filed. Oh, by the way, she did ask the question before he responded. She asked the question, so can he go to prison because of what he did? And his answer was, so I think there's 5 cases filed. Right. So just make sure that you guys understand that.
available. However, upon rules of the Bureau of Immigration, if he is an undesirable alien, the Bureau of Immigration has a right to detain him in the process of his hearing.
So pwede siyang magdusa sa kulungan. Hindi siya makaka-vlog. Diba? Wala
Yes.
So she said, so it means he will suffer inside prison and he will not be able to vlog. He will not try vlogging again.
Labas, di na niya yan uulitin.
He has no access to a cell phone. He has an access only to a cell phone to contact family or attorney. He is not allowed to vlog about anything which goes on inside the detention facility. He will live on the national stipend of 3 meals at 70 pesos a day.
Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that little bit right there? 3 meals, 70 pesos a day. Let's take a little pause here for a second. Let's take a little pause here. Pull this down for a second. I did the conversion here, guys. I did the conversion because some of you guys may not understand Philippine pesos. That is $1.22 a day. $1.22. Oh, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh no. Bro, he is so cooked. He is so cooked living on 122. Oh my god. I mean, to be honest, like what I mean, holy, you can barely get an Arizona iced tea. Like it's insane. I mean, and once again, all to the Philippines. They're giving him no special treatment. He doesn't get celebrity treatment. He doesn't get to live like a king. He doesn't get to live like it's some, chief Westerner. He doesn't get to live in some cushy jail cell. He doesn't get some white collar. He gets to suffer, Vitaly. He is absolutely going to be in pain on that because, remember, he went from a 5-star hotel, a place where the rooms are, let me do the conversion here from Philly. The rooms are probably no less than about, 17,000 Philippine pesos a day. The room that he was at, the Shangri-La at the Fort, probably somewhere between, 17,000. I mean, the cheapest, maybe if you got like a deep discount, it may be like 14,000 pesos. Like he's going from that, like for a room, that's just his room, whatever, to like his meals are $1.22, $1.22. Like glorious, absolutely glorious, massive W. I love that. I absolutely love that. This has been mostly in English, but I'm going to give you a little translation after he finishes because there's some that's in.
That's for all 3 meals. He will get special treatment. He will live in a common cell, walang air conditioner. Basta kulong siya habang nag-hearing siya. And I think that hearing the civil trial, I don't know, it's civil criminal, maybe it's criminal, it will maybe last 2 to 3 years. Oh. Then the minimum charge, I think, will be 5 years per guilty verdict.
Okay, let me say that because there's a little Tagalog in there, so I want to clear it up and give you guys that because this is massive. And I have this on a PowerPoint slide to reinforce it because this is the bombshell of today. Okay, let me read this clearly. He has no access to a cell phone. He only has access to contact his family or attorney. He is not allowed to vlog anything which goes inside the detention facility. He will live on the national stipend of 3 meals at 70 pesos a day. That's all for 3 meals. He will not get special treatment. No air conditioner. No air conditioner. He is inside prison while his hearing is ongoing. And he debates whether it's civil or criminal. It really doesn't matter. But he says, regardless of civil or criminal, it will be 2 to 3 years until his hearing is done. That's not sentencing. That's the trial. His trial will not be over for 2 to 3 years. We'll talk more about that later. But that is amazing. And he says the minimum charge, the mandatory minimum, will be 5 years per guilty verdict. The minimum. Cooked. Guys, I'm in Thailand right now, which is very similar. Last year, actually, during this time, I was also in Manila. I had an apartment in BGC as well. And it is hot. It is really hot. I had to wear a suit today and I completely sweated. And I was mostly from cab to AC, but even being outside, it's very similar weather. It is hot. It is really hot. Without AC, that is really rough. I'm just going to say it is rough. You're cooking. You are cooking. So she will reinsert here in Tagalog after. So he's detained for 2 to 3 years. Let's continue.
So pwede siyang nakadetain ng 2 to 3 years.
For the hearing pa lang yan.
Oo,
So he's saying just for the hearing. So he's reinforcing this. So she clarifies and he reasserts, yeah, that's just the hearing. Have fun with that, right? So that is how big of a point that is. That had to be clarified. That he's going to sit for 2 to 3 years just for the trial. Glorious.
hearing pa lang yun. Pero so it means it's clear he will not be deported just like that.
Oh no, hindi talaga
Wait,
may
hold on.
made a
Did you guys just translate cooked into Tagalog? is that the translation for cooked? Like, but the way that it's pronounced, that's interesting. I saw that in the chat. I normally can't catch the chat, but when somebody's cooked, I like it. People's let's continue.
conscious decision not to have him deported. Ito, after, pagkatapos ng pagkatuwaan, niloloko mo na Pilipino, pinagkakatawaan mo pa Pilipino, pinapahiya mo Pilipino, pinagkakitaan mo pa Pilipino. Tapos babay na lang? Walang ganoon, di ba? Fair is fair.
Okay, so what he said there was, oh no, not just like that. We made a conscious decision not to have him deported. After he made fun, jokes, shamed, and make money off Filipinos and then tried to say goodbye, nothing like that. Fair is fair. This is 100% based, right? I'll play the Asmongold clip.
I'm not sorry, and I did nothing wrong.
Solid. Listen, saying this is just fair play, fair is fair. I'm seriously, I'm having a drink tonight. I need to pop some champagne or something like that, because this is absolutely one of the best things I could hear for stopping nuisance streaming in Asia. And here's the best thing. They know that, Chad Ramu over here. They know that they're not just doing this for the Philippines. They know they're doing this for Asia. Let me play this here quick.
And not only that, he may just move to another Asian country and do the same thing, right? For his
So they know. So look what he just said there. Look what he just said. I'm going to play that back one more time, right? Play that back one more time.
that he may just move to another Asian country and do the same thing, right? For his content.
See, they know. Look at the Philippines is on this. And this is why I think the Philippines is different, because they're paying attention to these English language creators and they know that they're going to do this. They know, and the government official knows. This is why he's screwed. And this is what we need to get in Japan. We need to get this in Korea. We need to get this all over the world with people on the same level as the Philippines that understand their psyche, that understand how they're going to go. They're just going to go and do it elsewhere. So if you don't stop them there, they're going to do it elsewhere. So the Philippines is really protecting other countries from Vitaly and people like Vitaly by doing this. There's no someone mentioned in the chat, there's no language barrier. They understand what they're saying, they understand what they're doing. So they get them and they know we got to stop this. And it's exactly the right thing. That's exactly what I've been saying. They're saying it. We're all on the same page here, which is glorious. It is so happy for me to know that. It's difficult in Japan and in Korea to sometimes understand whether the government officials get it, whether they really get it, or whether they're just kind of getting it, right? Whether there's some lost in translation. There's no lost in translation here. These people absolutely 100% get it, and they know that they've got to stop these people and draw a line, and they're doing that, which to me, that just makes me the happiest man in the world to hear that. And like, as an expat, as somebody who loves the Philippines, loves Southeast Asia, loves Asia in general, it's the best for this whole region. It really is, to keep this guy and others like him behind bars. It's a huge example.
Okay, so that's one, that's clear. So I want to move on now to another issue, which is, you said you're leaving for Washington, D.C.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna stop there because the next was about DC, right? So we're not doing the rest of his like political tour, but that's the relevant part. That is absolutely the amazing thing about this. And to me, that interview today just made my day. That absolutely, listening to that absolutely made my day. Once again, thank you for that. We've got almost 13,000 people watching right now. Thank you so much. Mabuhay to all my folks over in the Philippines. And we got a lot of Filipinos watching right now. To me, I'm just the happiest clam right now hearing that and hearing that they get it. Like, it's so nice. People in the government usually don't get it. And when they do, I'm just thankful. And when their actions line up with their words, it's a rare thing. And I like to see it. And you know what? I like to celebrate W's. So this is a giant W. And they're going to be coping so hard on this one. I absolutely love it. So before we go on to anything else, because I do have some more here to talk about, we have a press conference which was mostly in Tagalog. So I'm going to read part of. I'm going to read through it. It is a couple pages, like 6 pages. And it's actually from a couple days ago. So that interview is the most recent interview. So Romulo, he gave a press conference like on the 20 or a few days ago. And I'm going to read a full transcript of that in English. We may not read all of it, but we'll try to get through it as fast as I can. I read pretty fast. So Kevin says Johnny Somali needs to be treated the same in Japan and South Korea as the Philippines. I agree. That would have been awesome. But, Korea's process is Korea's process at this point, because of the way things work with the law, you can't go back and retroactively do things. But what they can do is treat the next Johnny Somali like this guy, like Vitaly, right? We can't go back and treat the Johnny Somali case different. Than we did Vitaly. And to be honest, Johnny Somali, if anything, he's just provided content for all of us over the last, 6 months. But Vitaly, while he won't be providing any more content, he'll be behind bars. Certainly will cover the case as it develops. I'm way happier getting the punishment, right? The punishment is the ultimate goal here for these people. And now we have a concrete example. When we talk about how to punish nuisance streamers, we just say, like Vitaly in the Philippines, do it like that, and we're good, right? I don't care if they'll hold them 2 to 3 years for the sentence. I don't care. I have no sympathy for them, right? So, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm sorry. They messed around and they can find out now. Kevin Rochester for 20 says Japan and South Korea need to take notes from the Philippines. Yep. For the swear jar, fuck yeah. I'll give you a fuck yeah on that one. Ditsy Ditsy says accepting $1 a day detention fee for Vitaly. Okay, real quick. Bad News Badger says I'm split mind when it comes to criminal procedure. If a Dane was being dumb in Denmark, I would be lenient towards them according to our standards in Denmark. But if someone not Danish was being dumb, I want max punishment. That resulted in me being called a racist a lot. No, you're just a person who cares about your country and, about the treatment of your country by non-citizens. A non-citizen isn't a race. A non-citizen is a status. Someone could be ethnically a Dane, right, but be a non-Dane. For example, one of my good friends here, Ben, he's ethnically Danish, but he's American, right? But he has Danish background, right? I have background that's European, right? I have Irish background, I have German background, French background, but I'm not French, I'm not Irish, I'm not German, right? I don't hold a passport from any of those countries, right? Just because I have an ethnic background doesn't give me a right to go to that country and act like an a-hole, right? Ethnicity has really nothing to do with this. And particularly for non-citizens, the thing is that they don't feel a lot of the same consequences. They don't have bank accounts there. They don't have businesses there. They don't have things that can be impacted. They don't have a social network there. They're able to burn that country, to go in, create content, burn that country, and leave with zero consequences. As long as they don't come back, really, or they only come back a lot later, there probably are no consequences for them. And that's the danger of nuisance streaming. But the last part here, Bad News Badge says 3 of 3. But I want the max punishment for a Dane if they happen to be dumb abroad. Be dumb at home. Respect the people as a guest when abroad. Yeah, if you're dumb at home, you're going to have consequences. Thunder Rain 66 says, as Nux says, mercy to the cruel is cruelty to the merciful. That's very true. Migo Line Set says, salute to my Pinoy friends. Well done. Yes, a strong salute. to those folks over there in the Philippines doing it absolutely right. New member Jesse White, thank you. Spicy Caesar for 250 Philippine pesos, 1.5 USD for 3 meals is bad enough. Let's not forget how Manila Metro gets heat in the summer. I'm pretty sure its accommodations don't include air conditioning. No, there's no air conditioning. And beyond that, last year when I was in Manila, there were just deaths from heat. Right. That happened when I was there. Like as I was there on a day when it was like 42 or something. It was like really hot. And there were people that were just dying because the heat was so intense. So have fun with that, bro. Have fun with that. Boy hanging says 70. My niece got 300 PHP a day as lunch money. Vitaly Kaditsa bag. Uh-oh. Luxurion, welcome as a new member. Drum Corp Freak for 3, thank you so much. EDB sent me my Vitaly daily stipend. Oh man, I'm gonna be able to eat like Vitaly. Oh man. Gin Blades gifted 10. Thank you so much. Rayobi said geriatric and roided out. I love Pokemon Go Kid goes around harassing people, obstructing business, and bombing reviews in Asia. Vitaly is like Gen Alpha. His brain is cooked by Coco Melon. No wonder. Oof. Louis Cali says, bruh, he's going to come out looking like extra from Schindler's List. Oh, no. Somebody says, to be fair, half of the Philippines uses gago in casual speech with friends. Yeah, it's like shibal in Korean. Like shibal is a curse word that's like multi-purpose, but it's used all the time. So like you can have like a less bad version. Even like the F word, like you can say the F word in English and it can be like you stub your toe and you say it as an excited utterance, or you say it like in a serious way. So like there's degrees of that, right? I'm trying not to swear, so let's not make illegal mindset swear in every different language, right? I'll throw in a Scheisse for my German people out there. I know you like it. Leo, thank you. Welcome as a new member. Gene Cornelius Magnus says Vitaly is now, oh my gosh, Pinirtong Bangas na walang vinegar. Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay. Norbert Froelich says, after the stream yesterday and all the charges against RKI, I thought that was a lot. But what is happening to Vitaly? Dang, I deeply apologize for thinking he could get off easily because he has money. I was worried about that too. I was a little bit worried that they might, give him the cushy treatment. But now that has been dismissed completely. Mischief Managed says, give up drugs, no problem. Give up legal mindset, no way. Thank you. Claymore 1 for 5 says, Vitaly found a way to extend his vacation as a tourist. Get free housing and get free food too. I know. Look at that. Free 70 pesos a day. Melissa Artemis for 50,000 Malaysian ringgit, Indonesian ringgit. Sorry. Not Malaysian ringgit, Indonesian rupiah. Don't cancel me. Indonesian rupiah. It is not that we think you swear a lot. It's just that being family friendly to anything related to RKI is a Herculean effort. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of power. Jim Blaze also says here, just despite Vitaly and his nonsense. Thank you. Amanda Main for 10 says, it's been studied and proven that people who swear a lot have higher intelligence in most cases. So you're just really smart. That sounds like a giant cope, but okay. Eclipse says you used to swear a lot before Jonas involved it. I have been trying. MJ said, which tweet should we put our memes under? Put them under my main post. So when you go to my account, I'll show you right now. Like for example, today, where you want to put the memes is you want to put the memes right here. So like anything about today, put it underneath this. Let's see if we have anything. I gotta see if it's too spicy because it's Twitter. So, we gotta check this because things can get kind of okay. We're kosher right now. But if it's under that post for the day, I will check it and I will try to share it. So thank you for that, guys. Let's see here. Thank you, Piotr Savala, for the 5 legal mindset memberships. And we'll get some more here and then go. Kevin says, a new member, welcome. And Stormy says, apparently nuisance streamers don't understand natural selection applies to them. Go Philippines and your amazing people in cuisine. Guy Nikki for 50. That's not even enough for the subsidy. It says, like the N gamer word. Yes, nuisance is the gamer word. LJ O'Rourke as a member for 11 months. Thank you. World's Worst Gamer for 250 Philippine pesos. I'm just thinking, I just keep calculating the subsidy. I'm like, oh yeah, about half a week. I read somewhere on the news that he tried to bribe his way out and the cops refused. Yeah, because there's too much heat on this. There's no way it would happen. When the office of the president is involved, imagine if that was allowed. That'd be horrible. By the way, where's the swear jar? Okay, I'm going to be honest. I need to buy a bigger jar. We need to buy a bigger jar. I had a small one, but there's no way I'm going to fit enough bot in that. Ryobi says, Lakmat. Okay, hold on. Lakad Matag. Normalin plus bootleg broke Kurt Angle lookalike is going to be cremated in Filipino prison. Eko Salama Jama. I'm not sorry. Okay, cool. Thank you. John Navidad says Vitaly is cooked. Jovic is strategic and knows how to play the content game. He keeps this in the news and it helps him his platform long term. Vitaly is really screwed and will make an example of him. Yes, I agree. For 1,000 Philippine pesos. That's Vitaly eating for almost 2 weeks right there. Thunder Chicken says, I'm with Cabbage Boy and Vitaly never getting out of prison. Examples need to be made to stop all this ridiculous behavior. I wish prosecutors over here in the US would stop giving out free passes. I do too. We need to handle stuff like the Philippines. Jill says, for 129 Swedish krona, RKI's audience sends some money to generate while we just get legal mindset to swear. Bit of a difference. Yeah, there's acceptable and unacceptable. That's my line. Argy Dinocio says Pinoy is super accommodating to visitors, but are very proud people. He's going to feel Pinoy pride while there. That's what I was trying to explain the other day. Thank you. Is that it's very hospitable in the Philippines, super hospitable, super welcoming, super friendly, but don't mess with them. And particularly don't insult the nation. When you're trying to kick the nation, that's not going to go well. And to be honest, I'm going to be serious. Yesterday I was covering Johnny Somali and this was one of the biggest bombshell days for Somali. And we had 9,800, almost 10,000. And now we had 12,000 people in here. That just shows the bigness that, how people are really engaged on this Vitaly stuff. This is something where the nation can come together, and the Filipino nation and the Filipino people are all around the world. So you've got people in the US, there's got people that are in Europe, you got people over here in different countries in Asia, right? So they're all coming together to drop the hammer on this, and it's glorious. Daisana says we're welcoming people, just not to Vitaly. They were welcoming to Vitaly until he messed with them. And we're going to get to the cameraman because the cameraman's a huge issue, and we do need help to bring this guy to justice. Change reads says new stream goal: have legal mindset, swear in all languages. That's going to have to be a member stream, so I don't get booted off of YouTube. This is a good one. Nightbot says for 125, the average afternoon temperature in Manila in April until December is 36 degrees Celsius, 97 Fahrenheit. He is literally going to be cooked. Literally. Jeremy for 70 pesos, literally the subsidy, says, I am thankful we have a very slow justice system. It's one of the few times you're thankful for it, right? Sir Mirjungfrauman says, love from Luxembourg. Hey, shout out to Luxembourg. I have some family that's living over there in Luxembourg, and they love it. They have a great time there. Shout out. I need to go back when they're there. I've been to Luxembourg, but just quickly to visit, but I want to go back and spend some more time and see some local stuff. Danny Hacks says, wonder if any streamer tries their crap in Singapore. Probably not. Captain K for 10 says, glad we're finally seeing a proper reaction to nuisance streamers. I'm hoping other countries are paying attention and start drafting actual legislation. Korea has, and more, I think, will. Boo Boo, we're 60. Thank you. Chaos Smash says, can you play the clip another time? We got a lot to go through today. Thomas Anderson for 1999 says, can you educate the fools talking smack about Korea because they keep delaying and endangering the public, not detaining him while Vitaly was arrested and detained? The ignorance is great. Okay, Thomas, it's a different system. Look, what is it? Is it going to stop the nuisance streamers if you arrest and detain right away? Yes. However, the Korean system, which, by the way, the Korean system, fun fact, is based on the German system, right? Their legal system and prosecuted system is based on the German system. It includes a lot of due process. Also, in that particular case, remember, we're dealing in Korea with issues of language barrier, and that's a significant factor. And I'm going to be real with you. The fact that the Philippines, people understand English, everybody understands English, right? Everybody knows what he's saying and knows how offensive it is. That goes a long way towards them taking quick action on it. In Korea, they did take action. He was stopped. He didn't get away. He didn't escape. He had a travel ban. He's, getting punished more and more now. But here's the thing. Me and my team, the Somali conviction team, we are having to do a lot of translating to get stuff over. We have to make sure we're communicating it correctly. We're really pushing stuff. This latest charge against Somali, this child sexual harassment charge, we're gonna have to submit more evidence and make sure that one's pushed, and we kind of reinforce that should be brought. That's a big thing, and I think that did make a factor. And I do think they need folks at the right places in government and law enforcement that have a really good command of English, because they need to be able to look at this social media and take action right away. And I know that wasn't something maybe they needed in the past, but this is what they need kind of now. And I don't think Korea is doing a bad job. I think they're doing a job. It's just a slower process. And they also, have the strategy of keeping them out of jail, so they have to pay for themselves. And the strategy did work in Korea. Ramsey is now effectively broke. He's got no money. He's begging, right? So it did work to drain his funds. It's just a different strategy. It doesn't make it like entirely flawed. It's just different. Now, do I have a preference? Sure, right? But it's not wrong. Cal 2019 as a new member. Jay Crispy said for 499, Vitaly had a chance to receive Asian hospitality of the Filipinos, but decided to opt for their Latino side instead. Oof. Claymore said for 5, while I hate nuisance streamers, I'm worried if laws are changed, it may affect people in the USA according to police corruption. I don't think so. I think, to be honest, in a lot of cases, we're relatively light on certain things. So I think there's an opportunity for us to focus on nuisance streaming and profiting off of criminal activity. And if you leave the scope narrow, I think it's okay and it doesn't lead to abuse. Watermelon Vivo, so thanks, Rigo, for the membership and Legal Mindset. Have a San Miguel. Oh, I love San Miguel Light. I drink San Miguel Light all the time here. Trying to keep the calories off. I'm getting a little... I was getting a little plump. I'm trying to work out and lose some calories. Also, real quick, Johnny or Vitaly for longest. I think Vitaly is going to get more time. Rahabi says, can Vitaly do insanity? No. Also, Hoppy says Vitaly is going to be on the, frog diet in the Philippines? Interesting. Angel Chase says, hi, I had to study, watch something. Hey, and thank you so much, Angel Chase. She helped me with some of the research here and getting me started. So please, guys in the chat, say thank you to Angel Chase, because she was one of the ones that got me started on some of the research and helped out. Not the only one, but definitely a very important one. So thank you to her. Big thank you and love for her. Lyra Siga says, love Legal Mindset. I got to laugh at nuisance streamers as they reap what they sow and learn about other countries' legal systems. It's fun, right? It's fun. All right. We've got 62 other chats. I'm going to get to them all, but we need to get through the show. So let's go to this press transcript. So I'm going to read through this transcript for you guys. I think it's important to go through. So, I've got it over here. You guys can do the kind of the read along here. But I'm going to read this out for you guys. This was the other day. And this is from, once again, Secretary Rumula. Good morning to you all. This is about Vitaly Zorovetski. On the 26th of March, 2025, he arrives as a tourist via Cebu Pacific flight FJ280. On the 2nd of April, mission order number 2025 was issued against Vitaly. Date of birth, March 8th, 1992. To be honest, he looks way older. Like, this dude, I thought he was older than me. He's actually younger than my youngest brother. Like, this guy is a kid. I thought Vitaly was older. Like, that's actually shocking to me. He does not look good. Like, date of birth 1992. What is that even accurate? Like, I gotta. He looks bad if that's true. I gotta check. I gotta check that. That's. Anyways, under mission order, it was recommended the 2nd of April that a security guard based in BGC filed a police blotter with PMP Southern Police District. At the same date, on 483, the Bureau coordinated with CIDG Criminal Investigation and Detection to take Vitaly into custody. Upon arrival, he was brought into the Bureau of Immigration Intelligence Office to conduct a proper booking and capture his mugshot. After that, agents escorted Vitaly to the facility for temporary keeping. While he was there, inquest proceedings were conducted against Vitaly. The legal division conducted inquest proceedings against Vitaly. Vitaly, who was with his lawyer, confessed to harassment and disrupting public and safety. So he's screwed. He's already like, even with his lawyer there, he confessed. The same day, he was declared to be an undesirable alien, which means they could deport him if they wanted to. According to the police blotter that was filed at Fort Bonifacio substation, security guard Mapa stated that on the 31st of March, Vitaly engaged in multiple disruptive and inappropriate acts, including attempting to kiss and grab the security guard, trying to seize a service firearm, taking videos of him without consent, mocking other security guards, and vlogging without a permit. In his latest video on BGC, he was riding a patrol motorcycle. He threatened and insulted a Filipino woman. He stole a few items such as a hat and electric fan and rode a trike before striking in the street, then crashing in the street. In other videos, he is shown harassing a Filipino instructor in Boracay, and he is cursing at them. And he said he will make fake reviews against a local business, jumping on a moving jeepney, which is very dangerous. This is important because Filipinos, when they travel and go to other countries, we are respectful of the laws of those countries. How true is that? And how many Filipinos are around the world right now doing jobs, working hard, and they're following the rules, right? They're doing what they should be doing, right? And Vitaly doesn't have the common decency to do in the Philippines what hundreds of thousands of Filipinos, if not millions of Filipinos, are doing around the world, which is respecting the laws of those countries, right? And the rules of those countries. Then Filipinos as overseas workers is most desirable in the whole world. The first one to be, I think this is a typo. I think it's the first one to be hired and the last one to be fired, right? A Filipino, when they travel, is rarely charged with crimes, and we respect other countries' laws. Now here we have a smug American who is belittling us as Filipinos. He is belittling our laws. By the way, he's Russian and he's actually not, he doesn't have, I don't think he has nationality. So I actually believe he's Russian with American permanent residence. But anyways, he's belittling our laws. We show you here a video that shows what he did. And they show the video. It says, before we begin, I state that the 5 acts charged against him will be filed in the Taguig substation. Excuse me. I know I pronounced that wrong. Sorry, guys. While he is under custody of the Bureau of Immigration as an undesirable alien. Now, the BI will still have to discuss the CDG regarding the subsequent processes. But in my opinion, and this is mine only, not a legal opinion, very careful on that. I like that. Oh, somebody pronounced it. Taguig? Okay, thank you, guys. Oh, it's correct? Cool. Thank you. I'm really self-conscious about my pronunciation. I still cannot properly pronounce this is like a little confession. I'm learning Thai, and I really struggle with the word for month in Thai, which is like duan, and I can never say it right. But anyways, we will not deport him. He will answer to the law here in the Philippines. He will answer to the law here in the Philippines, remaining at the detention facility in Muntinlupa while he awaits trial. The days when a foreigner can disrespect Filipinos are over. This will serve as an example that we can take our own country seriously. So they show the video, then they say, so you've seen what Vitaly is doing to fellow Filipinos. We want to state that they will not be abused or maltreated. He will be placed in a regular detention facility. We will make him go through the correct processes. He will eat what regular inmates will eat. In other words, no special treatment. I will personally see to it that his cases come to an end with justice will be restored to our fellow Filipinos. While I'm seated here, our subject behind me is bragging. He is saying that we are showing something. Perhaps it is not up to me to determine what it is. It is up to him to explain, and it's up to him to explain to the judge exactly what he's doing. We will show that here in the Philippines, there's due process, whoever you are, and even if you're a foreigner visiting the Philippines, you have to respect the laws. A reporter asked, can you kindly repeat all the cases that will be filed against him for his arrest? I will read the spot report, okay? He engaged in multiple disruptive and inappropriate acts, including attempting to kiss and grab the security guard, trying to seize a service firearm, taking videos without consent, mocking security guards, vlogging without a permit. Also, he committed harassment against an old woman and also tried to humiliate folks in Boracay and humiliate the instructor. So those are 5 charges that can be filed against them, that will be filed against them. It seems that the video shown, this is a reporter. The reporter asks, it seems in the video shown, he is using the videos for his vlog and for content. Do you have warnings for other foreigners who do the same things as Vitaly and who's Filipinos as a joke for their content or profit? So listen up, CX. Listen up, people. Listen up, motherfuckers. Listen up, content creators. Listen up, IRL streamers. Right? That's why we're here now, says the secretary. This is a warning to all, not just Filipinos, not just the foreigners. People are meant to be respected. They are not meant to be used to be mocked and made money out of. What is happening here is that he vlogs these disrespectful, profane things. He vlogs harassment. He gets a lot of views. He makes money from it. That's the most painful thing. We're being made fools out of so he can make profit through social media. This is a warning to all those who want to do things like this. We will catch and arrest you. We will not allow you to mock Filipinos. No one is exempt from the law here in the Philippines. Based. Giga-based. Reporter. What will the process be before he gets deported? Because usually what is done, not in the same case, but when foreigners are undesirable, what is done is they're allowed to leave. In fact, some are even deported on government funds. What will happen? He has a case here. How will they finish these cases? Rumula says, we will finish the cases. The reporter says, how long will it take? He says, I cannot be sure, but we will finish the cases. He is under the custody of the Bureau of Immigration as an undesirable alien and a flight risk. Just to put an end to all of this, just to show an example to our fellow countrymen, let's show them the law will prevail against foreigners here. Let's show them that people like Vitaly have to pay for what they've done, which is why I will make sure that we go through with this. We will make sure this goes to trial. And until there is a verdict, he will not be deported. He will stay here in the Philippines. So good. This is so good. My next question, says the reporter, you already mentioned a warning for foreign vloggers. Are the same rules applied to local vloggers because of their content who are taking things too far and bringing people to shame? This is where we're going to talk about, and we're going to switch over to the cameraman. So we're going to get into that with the cameraman in a bit here because he's Filipino. He says, well, there's similar cases like Professor Cielo filed a case against vloggers whose content was scandalous. But these matters we will talk about another time. But this is a warning. People have to take responsibility for the content they create. It is not a license to shame, to hurt, or besmirch anyone. A vlog, social media, or corresponding responsibilities that come with posting them. So this is a warning to all. If you want to make money off your stupidity, you should be ready to pay for it. Spokesman, before we give our next question, may I remind Vitaly to respect the secretary while he is speaking and not say anything or gesture that is out of the ordinary. So literally what was happening here in this, and let me show you, actually, I can pull up, I think I have my, I think I have this post here. So what was happening in this, so you understand. So this is, let me show you the, we'll get back to finishing this, but here's what was happening. So he's standing here and this is the guy who's speaking. So the guy who I'm quoting is this dude. It's Rumula right here, right? So he's making faces and he's talking and saying stuff and like making little remarks. And they're like, yo, they're like, shut up. They're pretty much like, shut up. I think Vitaly he thought that he was going to get a chance to like say his side, or he was going to get a chance to like say something. They didn't allow him to say anything. They perp walked him out there like some drug dealer, like some other guy, like some common criminal, right? They just perped him out there and did not let him say a word, right? He's going to have to save it for court. And that's absolutely glorious. And I want to, if I get to, I need to talk to my Philippines lawyer friends. If there's a way I can attend these court cases, I will 100% attend the case if it's open to the public. Like if there's some way I can attend this case, I will absolutely, positively 100% go. That would be awesome. I would love to do that if they're open to the public. I don't know whether they are or not, but that would be amazing because just to be able to look at these people, because they often know who I am and they lose it because I'm able to come and go and I'm able to hang out and I'm able to go freely and they're stuck behind bars. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I will 100% go. No, and someone said in 2 years. No, the process takes 2 years, but there might be a hearing or something that I could go to that might be more recent, maybe in 6 months or a year. And I'm patient. I'll wait for it. I'll wait for it. I'll wait for it. Okay. By the way, I'm gonna get all these chats, and there's 76. Don't worry, we're gonna answer all the questions. I always do. For better, for worse, we always do. Okay. Reporter said, I noticed that while you were talking earlier, this prankster has an unusual attitude. Have you conducted a background check? Does he have a mental disorder? They literally asked if he has a mental disorder. Is he affiliated with they literally asked if he's mental disorder. Is he affiliated with a certain group? He was mentioning something earlier. Paparazzi. Is he copying someone? What is his motive? His actions are unusual. The secretary says, you saw for yourself. While he was behind me, he was cursing at me. So I can't really tell you what is on his mind. But there are reports that in other countries, he has already been declared persona non grata. That means unwelcome person in Latin for similar antics. This is a new culture of the internet. This is the new culture of social media, making content to make money. In doing so, they cross the line of decency and propriety. Now you've seen for yourselves, where else have you seen that old woman who would be harassed? He stole a tricycle. He grabbed things. He curses surfboard instructors. It cannot be this way anymore. Enough is enough, not here in the Philippines. Reporter says, so in your opinion, he's doing this for content's sake, so that his content is different from others. Some have food content, some have other things. For him, it's different. It's harming people. There's no background mental illness. It's called kupal content. He's showing us how much of a jerk he is so he can make money. Guys, is this a translation thing? Okay, I'm going to look at the chat for once. Is this word translated to kupal, K-U-P-A-L? Is that Tagalog for something? Like, is that for like, it's crazy content. Okay, crazy, asshole. Okay. Smegma. Wait, what? Okay. Okay. Everybody is saying smegma. Okay. Dickhead. Okay. Wow. Okay. So it's clearly not good. It's clearly not good. Poo-poo content. That's the it's bad when the most kosher answer is poo-poo content. Poo-poo content. There we go. Okay. This looks like that was an that was an educated answer. Hold on, let me go back up. Kupal is a Filipino slang term with various meanings depending on the context. Common interpretations: stupid or foolish, annoying or irritating, crazy or absurd. Thank you, guys. I love it. I appreciate that. Oh man, that's great. Thank you. We're having language lessons here on Legal Mindset. It's great. Eric says, if you attend the trial, be sure to give him a flying kiss. Yeah. Maybe I'll give him the Somali tongue. You know, it's also Spicy Caesar for 250, the weekly Vitaly supplement. Thank you. Says 3 things. He was muttering fake news or just a prank bro behind Rumula. Yeah, just a prank bro. I know that I actually could read that one. He was making vulva hands for the camera, and 3, lesser known footage of him wreaking havoc in the kitchen is on X. Oof, we'll need to check that out. Thank you guys. Also, Jordan says Vitaly is a Russian monkey who wants to get attention. Prison here in the Philippines is different, and he will feel hell inside. By the way, Salamat, Legal Mindset. You're the best. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you. Listen, I want to be really honest with you guys once again. Filipino brothers and sisters, I couldn't have done this without you. This whole translation I'm reading right now, this was a kind-hearted Filipino that did this for free for me, for free. They took their time of day to do this for me. Thank you. Like what, you know, when I talk about people that give, that are warm, that are helping, if you're helping with them, they're going to help you. This proves it. Like this didn't happen for me, even like Japan and Korea. I don't have people reach out to me like this and give me a translation like same day. Like, and obviously there's it helps because, you know, it's dual language fluency in Tagalog and English, right? That does help, right? But I just want to say, it just shows how helpful people are. And I just want to genuinely say thank you to the Filipino people, Philippines people, everybody there, all the Pinoy brothers and sisters. It has been great having help from you guys on this case. Thank you for sending articles, Instagram stories, everything, videos. That really helps me do my coverage because I have limited time of the day. I spent a lot of time covering Jami Salami, and helping out with Vitaly has been huge. And we've really got the word out here on this. And I really think this is going to go big to not just stop people in the Philippines, but stop people all over the world. Minsk Washer for 10. What was that? BY. I don't even know that currency. I know a lot of currencies. Which one is that? Oh, that's a Belarusian ruble. Cool. Vitaly has a few Russian interviews from a couple years ago. Seemingly, he got caught in the U.S. for hitting a woman. Yes, he got punched he punched him in the eye. All Russian interviews went dark. Yeah, I mean, after that, he probably was unwelcome, right? Because he was known to have a violent history. Storm Overload pretends as Philippine prosecutors will go hard in this case, and Vitaly's legal defense may likely do the Filipinos a solid. The local barangay is on the hunt of the cameraman. We're going to talk about him. Don't worry. We're going to talk a lot about him so you guys can help with that. Vitaly will have a steady diet of buto in jail. Bad News Badger said I had to pause the stream to get back to it later. Grand Mussy demands attention, so I need to take care of her. Catch you later. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Also, Chicky said, swearing again. Don't say anything you wouldn't say in front of my grandma. I'm just kidding, Andrew. My grandma said it's okay. Grandma will forgive you. I Delay says, regarding Vitaly, if he does try to buy his way into comfort, can't governments extort nuisance streamers for bad behavior? Regardless of the method, it's a good opportunity to turn them into ATMs. No, I mean, if he tries to bribe them, they should just take the money and not give him anything, right? They should be like, oh, thank you, and we're not giving you anything, right? Like, be like, yeah, no, we're giving you nothing. We're, like, just siphon off his money. But that said, he's going to get penalties, both financial and criminal, right? And so I have no doubt that they're going to enforce this. He's a high-profile person, so the eyes are going to be on him. So I don't think he would have any of that opportunity. Jopey1992 for 100 Swedish krona says every gang member must be a genius if swearing is related to IQ. For real, though, it's an emotionally charged way to express oneself, and that's connected to EQ, not IQ. Yeah. Rain, give me 70. Vitaly's lunch money. Thank you. Found that funny. And I will catch up with the rest later, guys. We got 75. I'm working. Okay, let's continue here. Get in the corner. Is Vitaly allowed to speak? No, not today. Only in the formal inquest. I love it. But in his video, he's not the only other person present. He's with others. I think the cameraman is Filipino. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. They're on to the cameraman. And this is a comment. Sobi says, Sly, how you casually slid in the mother trucker warning. Yeah. Speaking of Sly, the cameraman is called Sly Kane. His name is Sly Kane. We're going to get into him because he was making big bucks being adjacent to nuisance streamers. And I think his days may be numbered for that. And continuing with that sort of content. Maybe very numbered. Rayobi said, not since Noji versus Doki, I've seen so many people watch the stream. Currently 11K. Yeah, we had 12K for a second. Congrats, Legal Mindset in the Pinoy. Yeah, shout out to the Pinoy. Big love. Kapakuro says for 5. I love how much our hate for nuisance streamers unites us. People all over the world are bonding together. Greetings from Greece. Hey, shout out to Greece. Appreciate you. Our 99 bot says, a nuisance streamer YouTube Big Dog Strategies based in the Philippines smuggled substances in the country and is harassing women in Makati? I'll look into it. I haven't heard about that yet, but I'll have to look into it. And let's see here. Ryobi said, is it possible at the public hearing you and Atozi can attend? If we could, yeah, that'd be awesome. Avengers moment, just like the RKI trial, would be glorious. I would love to do that. In fact, I will say Atozi actually encouraged me to take time to look into this seriously. So also big thank you to Atozi, for putting me on this topic. He, helped me out here, and big love to Atozi because this is a good one. I was planning to look into it anyways, but he kind of pushed me like, hey, do it quickly. So thank you for that, Atozi, Grandpappy Atozi. Between telling me to swear less and telling me to seriously cover this, Atozi's been a good influence. He's been a good influence, positive influence. Okay, let's continue. What is the plan of the government so far for that? Rumula says we're putting him through tactical interrogation to get him to reveal the name of the cameraman. Even the cameraman, who is Filipino, is included in the charge, as with enabling Vitaly in the commission. So the cameraman is already been charged. He's already been charged. The name of the cameraman, I'm going to spoil this, but the name of the cameraman is Christopher P. Dantes Sly Kane. Christopher P. Dantes Sly Kane. Sly Kane. We're going to go into Christopher P. Dantes, aka Sly Kane, a little bit later. Some of his history, who he is. He is the #1 kick streamer, the #1 IRL kick streamer in the Philippines. That's how he calls himself. #1. He's about to be the #1 in jail. About to be the #1 in jail. Okay. Let's continue with this. Reporter said a while ago, you mentioned the warning, a reminder to vloggers. Do you have a plan, or at least to suggest to lawmakers to make a specific law that will tighten or make it stricter on vloggers, whether foreign or local? Our cyber libel crime should be modified further. We will suggest to lawmakers in the next Congress if they could make a law against cybercrime stricter so that it is not given a conservative interpretation. Very smart. If they make money at the expense of others and at the expense of Filipinos, they should take responsibility. This is the way legally. Make the crimes stricter if they're making money. That's exactly what I said. Literally, I wonder if the Philippines is getting sent Legal Mindset streams. They're like, yo, Legal Mindset has a suggestion for this. And they're like sending my videos over to the Philippine Congress. They're like, hey, Philippines Congress, check out Legal Mindset's channel. Because that's like what I've been preaching and screaming and yelling about. I am so happy about that. That is a perfect suggestion. It's exactly what works. And you need to aggravate that crime, the cyber libel, if they're profiting. If they are making money, it's aggravated. It's more severe. Aggravated means worse punishment, right? It's more severe punishment. Aggravated, worse. That's exactly what all countries need to do. They need to make sure their cyber crimes are aggravated if they're streaming. That will cut this down. That will work. That will 100% work. It's great. It's great. I love it. I love it. Kevin Rochester says the cameraman is Filipino. It'll be interesting to see how this is handled by Filipino voters. Yeah. I mean, I'm really interested. Win Donji says FAFO during election season. Yeah. Sussy player says, have a nice day. By the way, trying to aggress my country. Polish lotte. Dzień dobry over there. Or Szczęść Boże. That's actually my favorite one in Polish. I've been to Poland a lot. I know a lot of words in Polish, a lot of swears in Polish too, but I'm not going to call it that. I'll leave it at the lightest one I learned is like burak, which is like, for like country person, right? Burak, right? But anyways, I know I've been to Poland a lot. I love Poland, actually. Poland's great. And I have really good friends there. They're really great people. And I love going out there. I spent Christmas there. I've been to a Polish wedding. I passed out drunk because I tried to drink with Poles vodka and I couldn't do it. But they woke me up for the throwing of the garter belt and the bouquet, which I accidentally caught. I am not saying this word. Actually, no. Kurva is like Scheisse in German. You can say Kurva. But anyways, yeah. What's up, Poles? What's up, Poles? I love you guys too. Stick for 25. Appreciate that. QB says, who's going to get bent over worse in prison, Vitaly or his camera crew? Honestly, guys, the cameraman is probably going to feel it because he betrayed his countrymen. The cameraman betrayed his country. It's like Hank or Han Jong-yu in Korea. Hank is the top ally in Korea. He's a Korean that is aiding Johnny. Without Hank, he would not be able to do anything. Hank is considered a worse traitor in Korea than Johnny because he knows better and he's helping them. I think this guy may be worse, right? I think this guy, Sly Kane, may actually be worse because you're enabling somebody when you literally know better. You absolutely know better, right? So, yeah, I do think it's going to be pretty rough for that dude. Sobi's Hanel, so Secretary Mula probably subscribed to him. Hey, Secretary, make sure you like the video, right? We got 11,000. We need to get the likes up here, Secretary. So like the video, Secretary. It's all good. It's all good. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for it. Appreciate everybody here. Appreciate everybody who donated to the channel, who's helped out. By the way, 42% of you voted that I do not swear too much. So I'm going to stand by the fact that I don't swear too much, and we're going to go with that. So I do appreciate y'all voting in the poll. Thank you for that. Okay. My studio glitches because I've got too many things going on. Oh, it's hilarious. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Oh, I'll get this one here. Minsk says for 10 Belarusian rubles. Imagine their ego collision if you put all these streamers in one cell. Now, that'd be a stream I'd watch with some popcorn and drinks. I agree. That'd be funny. Also, cameraman about to be #1 boy in prison. Oof. Also, Basil said 70 pesos a day. I spent like 300 in 2 meals. Yikes. Yeah. Yikes. And that's a good deal, even. Okay. Let's continue. Ramula. Oh no, sorry. Reporter says, with respect to Vitaly, does he have a history, and how many countries has he done this content, and why has it been tolerated time and time again, or do you specifically tolerate the Philippines? Ramula says, the news we have, and we haven't seen the full archive, and the news we have is that he does have a history, but it's unconfirmed. But here I received a complaint at 10 a.m. in the morning, and by 1 p.m., so within 3 hours, he was arrested at a very expensive hotel. It was the Shangri-La at the fort in BGC. If you guys know Shangri-La Hotel, very nice hotel, by the way. And by the way, not to slander the Shangri-La, it's very good. They're very well run. I like the Shangri-La, really good chain. Where he would pay around 20,000. Okay, guys, so I underestimated. He was paying 20,000 Philippine pesos. 20,000 Philippine pesos. Let's do the math on that. Hold on. How many meals is that? So one night in the jail. Hold on. I did it the wrong way. One night in the jail is 285 days. 285 days. One night, literally one night in the Shangri-La Hotel is 285 days of food in the jail. Bro. Holy, that is crazy. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. How else could he pay for that if not making money off the shame of Filipinos? That's the most painful thing. With respect to the 5 cases, if he's allowed to post bail, how will we monitor him? Currently, he's under the restrictive custody of the BI. He's under the legal custody of the PNP. And under the restrictive custody of the BI, there will be no hearings. He will be in the BI as an undesirable alien. So even if legally he can post bail, he will be in custody. Yes, under the laws pertaining to the Bureau of Immigration, they can hold. So what they're saying is there will be no bail. There will be no bail. 0 bail for this dude, which is fantastic. I am so happy there's going to be no bail for this dude. So happy. Closing statement. Thank you for coming today. We want to show the people that in the Philippines, the law applies equally to all. For the longest time, we've seen when foreigners are here, we look up to them. And even when they disrespect us, we just take it. If you saw the security guards when they were harassed by the foreigner, they smiled it off and couldn't do anything. This is a message to them, whoever they may be. The law has their back. Our police are here and the Bureau of Immigration is here. Whoever you may be, you will have something to answer should you ever violate the law. Great statement. Great conference. That was once again a couple days ago. That was a little bit after the other one, but absolutely fantastic. Thank you for the translation of that, guys. Absolutely 100% amazing. Absolutely 100% amazing. I'm going to go through my PowerPoint in a second, but before I do that, we've got almost 100 super chats. which this is an epic backlog. So I'm going to need to read some of these. So we're going to do this a little bit. Also, legal mindset for president. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to read some of these to kind of get the backlog. Okay, we're at 100 now. So, and we're actually, sorry, we're going over. So thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. I do go in a specific order and I will get them all. So don't worry. If you think I haven't read yours because it's from earlier, I will get to it. Don't worry. Kevin Rochester for 20 says, spent a lot of time in the Netherlands while stationed in Frankfurt Holst. I understand, brother. Yeah. Cool. I love Frankfurt. Destructive Dave 1900 says, gifted 5 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Chilla X inch ICA. Chilla in Chica. Says, as a fellow attorney, swearing and being an attorney go hand in hand. Loved you as you are. Thanks for keeping us informed. I try not to act like I am in the law firm. When I was in a law firm, I swore all the time. I'm a good boy now. Jan Eli Padilla says, for 250 Philippine pesos, says 100%. No one in Congress is savvy enough to come up with what to do with the stream link. Congress came up with these cyber libel laws independently because our netizens regularly put politicians on blast. And that's what I'm saying. It's because you guys put them on blast. It's because you guys say, hey, we need to change this. And you have actually pushed them to take action, which is awesome. Miku Kumi for 250. Hey, thank you. Says legal mindset suffering from success. Philippine edition. I love it. I'm looking forward to, so I was speaking with Eric, who is the guy who confronted Vitaly. I am going to be in the Philippines at either the end of this month or the beginning of next month. And so I talked to him and I'm definitely going to do something in BGC like a meetup. So I do hope that anybody's in Manila, like maybe we can have like just go out and get a beer or something like that, or like have a small event there in the Philippines. I do look forward to seeing all my good friends out there and giving some love to the community. So I'm looking forward to that, just sincerely. Manchetta for 100 dinar says, I hope Vitaly enjoys prostate massages. Thank you. Mika Kumi gifted 20 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Radio Iskanda says, just came back from Poland visiting grandma. Hey, my Philip Perogian Pivo. I love Pivo. Nostrovia says, thanks for covering all of this. Greetings from Amsterdam. Hey, I love Amsterdam too. My first European city. Revenant 0713 says for 125, there's an old episode of Inside the Gangsters Code you might enjoy that shows prison life in the Philippines. I don't think Vitaly can handle it. Let's do a prison in the Philippines episode. I think that'll be fun. Delay says for 50, we have a law for traders in Philippines. A114, Article 114. I'll need to look that up. Porsche Philippines for 50 says the expats here are pissed. Makes us look bad. I know, but you know what? I think what I heard Ramula saying and as I read it, he understands that most foreigners are respectful and most people are respectful. He's an exception. Even the instructor, Nicola, in Boracay, he said, I've never seen this before. No one acts like this. I lived in the Philippines for months. I never saw this. I never saw this once. I never saw behavior like that even once. That's even close. Maybe somebody gets drunk or, maybe someone, might, swear or something, but not on that level. Just not on that level. Michael Rule said they reference a Tozy, so it's possible. Oh, cool. Andre says for 100, you should swear more. Gorgeous lawyer. Tell me Vitaly will be 20 years in prison, so Johnny Boy loses it. It's not going to be, I don't know whether it'll be 20 years. I'm going to be responsible because the Filipino lawyers that talked to me said they actually told me it's too early to give a prediction for time. So I don't want to do it if they're uncomfortable doing it. So we're going to be conservative on this. All we know is the minimum, which we're going to talk about in a second. Pirate Skeleton says the FAFO Olympics are on with an international race to the bottom. Steven says, as an American, I want one of our own to come home. No. Stephen, I actually disagree. So I do not think so. I'm going to disagree with you there. Now, I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe you're wrong here, but what I'm saying is this. First of all, he's Russian and he only has an American permanent residence, as far as I know. So he's not even American. But beyond that, no, I don't give a shit if somebody is a fellow American. I don't care what country they're from. So as an American, I'm sorry. I don't care if somebody is American, they don't get to flaunt laws abroad. Sorry, that's the way I feel. Maybe people feel differently. You feel special, but I don't agree with that. I think that, and I don't know how you meant it. Maybe you meant it a different way. But I think that you don't get a pass because you're American. That's what Ramsey tried to do, right? That's what Ramsey tried to do, right? So, yeah, no. I don't buy that account of I'm American, I can do whatever I want. Like, nah, sorry. Frank Pareto. Hey, what's up, Frank? And thanks for helping me out, Frank. Frank also sent some information to me. Politicians to nuisance streamers during election season, you call that clout farming? Let me show you how it's really done. Magnum Miscreant says they should throw not just the book, but the entire court at him. Suffer and cope. Siggy for 5 says the worst thing that can happen to Vitaly while he's in prison is the inmates. Filipino inmates are the toughest. Jared Russell for 5 says, what shall we do with the whiny streamer? What shall we do with the laggy streamer? What shall we do with the class straight streamer early in the morning? Thank you. That's Legal Mindset Karaoke. By the way, karaoke, also very popular in the Philippines. Do enjoy that. Seventh Elo says for $6.99 Canadian, Forrest Gump may not have been a smart man, but he does know what stupid is. Stupid is as stupid does. Casper for 45 Danish krona. Thankfully, the nuisance streamers haven't discovered Denmark yet. The laws enforcement isn't ready. Europe needs to get ready. Showrio says Vitaly can do an insanity plea. Ramsey is trying insanity plea. Legal Mindset is going insane over insanity plea. Also, obligatory explain insanity plea. Hold on.
No. Wait.
King Bob's Dream, the benefit of a delayed sentence for Johnny is he runs out of money. So Johnny does not have enough money to pay his paid lawyer to fully represent him for a year or two. He doesn't. He just simply does not have the money. And the benefit is to drain him dry. I love it. QB says, don't let the super chat backlog distract you from the fact that Pecora's monkey has its own VTuber model. And don't let distract you from the fact that Pecora bought a
monkey
to my VTuber lovers. Philippines has a lot of VTuber fans, which I do love as well. Siggy says for 5, the nuisance streamers, prisoners or inmates. It's much fun in the Philippines. Lulu says, can we send daily NAS to the Philippines? I think people should try because they're going to end up like Vitaly if they try. Destructive Dave 1900 says, get wrecked, Vitaly. F around too much and you find out early. Andres gifted 50 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And then Vlogs gifted another 50. You know what they're doing right now. Watching me make more than they're going to eat in a year in a single super chat gift.
You are coping the seething.
They're coping hard. Jay Hernandez says he needs to be stripped of his permanent residency like everyone else who has a criminal record. That's the standard. And it's a felony and violent. Hope he gets deported as well. If they strip him, then he's got to go back to Russia. So, and if he goes back to Russia, he's got mandatory service, at least for now, right? Now, 5 years from now, who knows, right? But anyways, that would be interesting. Ryobi said, the guy that wanted Vitaly to be free are the same like the Niji sisters. They like it when they do all the trouble and law breaking with no consequence in foreign countries. I agree. All right. Oh, also, I'll get this one before we continue. Beautiful Joe for 5 says, hi, Legal Mindset. Thank you and others for continuing to expose these creeps as people like me just want to enjoy a place we visit. I do too. That's exactly why I am doing this. Exactly why. Boo Boo also says for 125, over 2 years in the Philippines, it's so hard to not get arrested. I tell you, not. I hope he rots in jail. Yeah, there's so many people in the Philippines that don't get arrested. How is that? It almost is like they're law abiding. I have all these super chatters from the Philippines that are not in jail right now. All right, let's get to the PowerPoint. Of course, we've got the Vitaly update. Do you like that? I got the Philippine flag instead of the Korean flag for this one. Shout out. Nice little PP here. All right. What are the charges? And this is not all inclusive. These are just the ones that were listed objectively. So all of those other channels that are going to make videos on Vitaly, please copy this because this is the accurate information. This is what the secretary said. So I'm going off of his exact words, and the things he said might be charged or are going to be charged. Attempting to grab and kiss and grab a security guard, trying to seize a service firearm, taking videos without consent, mocking security guards, vlogging without a permit because you need a permit in BGC, right? Huge, massive. Harassment of an old woman, harassment of a Boracay instructor. That's a lot. And that's not all. By the way, on top of this, he also crashed a trike and he also threatened to rob a woman. That's on top of all of this. On top of all this. But the gun thing, the trying to take his gun, oh man. And that's just possible. This is not all inclusive. Next, these are the consequences. FAFO. Fully detained. That means he cannot get out until the court hearing is finished. The court in the Philippines is packed. And it's very backed up. It's super slow, which means 2 to 3 years before trial, we have a guaranteed minimum, even if he was not guilty, of 2 to 3 years. Amazing. His minimum sentence is speculated at 5 years. Minimum. And it's 5 years per charge. So good. 5 cases, 5 years minimum per charge. If he gets guilty. So if he gets 5 guilties, that'd be 25. That'd be a lot. But even just one, 5 years. Just one. If they're like, all right, we're just going to give you 5 years. Speaking of 5s, multiples of 5s, 50 legal mindset memberships. Ironically, this may be the exact same amount of years Vitaly gets sentenced in jail. Yes. Thank you, John Navidad. Appreciate the big support of the channel. And thank you to all the gifters and everybody who gave a gift today. If you received a gift, please say thank you because it helps out in the channel, helps out in the algorithm, helps out with that, really everything. So thank you guys, really big. It is deeply appreciated for all the generosity and the memberships. Thank you guys. Also, Shori Sky says it's Boracay. Oh, sorry. I said Boracay. Boracay. Sorry. Boracay. Thank you. Kevin also says, as ex-army, I've seen military personnel dishonorably discharged for less than what these nuisance streamers have been subjected to for acting inappropriately. Yeah. It should be serious punishment. These guys should be punished very seriously. All right. Next, he will not receive special treatment. He will have the same meals, 70 pesos, $1.20 per day. 3 meals. He needs to pack 3 meals into 70 pesos. What is that per meal? Hold on, 70 pesos. That is 23.3. So let's round down. 23 pesos a meal. 23 pesos per meal. 40, it's like 40 cents. He's sharing a jail cell with multiple inmates. He's going to have multiple Filipinos in that jail cell with him, and no air conditioning. Like the chat said, the average temperature, not including the kind of winter, is 97 degrees Fahrenheit. 97 degrees. Crazy. Yeah, let's continue. Legal nuisances. So this is actually I really meant to talk about legal consequence for nuisance streamers, but anyways, legal nuisances. The law regarding nuisances, right? So this is something that was explained to me by a Filipino lawyer. So I want to explain it to you guys. So in the Philippines, there is a difference of the law. There's a difference between the special penal law and the revised penal code. And according to this Philippines lawyer, once again, this is the Philippines lawyer that explained it to me. I'm not a Filipino lawyer, I'm an American attorney, but a Philippines lawyer explained this to me. They said that they may end up using the special penal code. Now, the normal revised penal code actually is mala in se, or malum in se, as we say in the US, which means you need proof of malice to convict somebody. However, under the special penal code, it's malum prohibited, prohibitum or mala prohibitum, which means the mere act of doing it is enough. So they do not have to prove intent. They just have to prove that he did the action. And if he did the action, he's guilty. So if he gets the special penal, he is fucked. Just for doing the act. And I'm going to put some money in the swear jar for that, but it's worth it. Just for doing the act, he's cooked. He's cooked. Because that's the special penal code. It's mala prohibitum. The act is enough. Just the action is enough. Usually you have to have what's called mens rea. That's a state of mind, right? So typically for many crimes, you have to have a certain state of mind. That would be like, for example, for a first-degree murder in the US, you have to intentionally murder somebody. Intentional murder. That's first degree. You have a mens rea. You have malice. You have thought. If it's a crime that is malum prohibitum, that's something like underage drinking. Right? In America, if you drink under 21, that would be it, right? Or if you're driving over a certain blood alcohol content. So if you're drunk in the US, if you have a BAC of like, whatever, 0.2 or something or whatever, or 0.02, whatever it is, you have a BAC that's high. It doesn't matter whether you intended or didn't intend it or whether you had good intent or bad intent. If your blood alcohol content is too high, you're guilty, period. That's malum prohibitum, right? So if they use that code, he is in trouble. And yes, it does sound like Harry Potter. It does sound like Harry Potter, but it is indeed the law. The law is kind of like Harry Potter, except for he's going to be in Azkaban. And like if Azkaban had 70 peso meals, like if Azkaban had 70 peso meals, that's kind of what he's dealing with. It's kind of what he's dealing with. And like it was hot instead of cold because like Azkaban was like really cold. To make a Harry Potter reference. Also, Aries Athena says, the jails in the Philippines have commissary and can he use it? I'm going to have to look into that. I don't know what they have. I guess there's some ability to purchase some things, but I guess he won't have that much money. I mean, he's not going to have any money to actually purchase anything. He's not going to be able to buy his juicy juice. Also, thank you to, what is it? Is that Yundibin? Thank you. Welcome as a new member. Also, Sneaky Blinder for 25 Polish zloty. In Polish, cooked is ugotowany. Ugotowany. Yeah, I got it. I got it on the right one. Actually, I kind of know how to pronounce Polish. I like this more. You might like it too. Ugotowany. I can do that. Dzięki. AP says effed by the special penal. Glorious. Ronan Unplugged for 125 says, what Secretary Ramula said about meals is misleading. By the BIF, detainees can have groceries brought in. There's a kitchen. They can order takeout. Yeah, but guess what? Who's bringing this guy meals? Who is going to be coming and bringing this guy meals? I mean, I know some of you guys might bring him some balut, which is fine. But, I don't think anybody is coming in to bring this guy some meals. Alfredo, as a new member, welcome. Mark says, is their court system like our court system? I mean, it seems to be similar, but I know there's some differences, of course. Also, Gabe says, if special penal is on a new meme, that is a crime. I know, right, Gabe? I know. Thank you for the Ichan one. Appreciate that. CJC said we have a new gun ban because of election. Oh, cool. Taco World for $7.99 says, what is the Korean version of Big Bubba? Because Johnny is going to meet him. And so is Vitaly. JM says Vitaly is going to sing My Way. That's a good one. Let's get other ones here. I'm going to scroll up and work on a couple before we continue. Steph K for 50 Swedish kroner says, doing Swedish homework while listening. I'm not very good, but I'm trying. Canadian and Sweden. Vladimir says, I'm sad Vitaly can't watch your live stream like RKI and let the information sink in. RKI and Vitaly are different. I appreciate the differences, but I do appreciate that Vitaly is getting serious punishment. Gin Blades for 50 says, got a very nice apple bourbon and matcha flavored mochi. One glass in and already wasted. I hope the Philippines goes hard on him and sets an example. I agree. Frank Pareto says, I think Vitaly's claims that everything is fake because only his bad actions and not his good actions were highlighted. Filipinos are not for sale. He literally, guys, he tried to say that because he gave somebody $1 tip, literally $1, not even 70 pesos, right? What is that, like 50 pesos, right? Because he gave somebody $1, it's okay. He thinks Philippines' dignity is worth $1. Seriously. Seriously. Alfredo Phillips for 50 Mexicans says, what is the jail time he'd be facing? I've already addressed this. He's going to face 2 to 3 years just in the process, not even in jail time. So 2 to 3 years just for the trial. And then there's a minimum of 5. So at a minimum, we're talking 8 years, 2 to 3 for the trial, and then another 5 as if he gets just one charge. And then it stacks from there. We can't know the maximum. It's too much to say what the maximum would be, but we can kind of talk about a minimum. Boo Boo for 125 says, surprised I can pronounce words. Okay, I'm not going to try that one. Although it's just okay. Okay. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I would have to think too hard. You're breaking my brain right now with Polish, but thank you. King Bob for 5 says, can I say hi to my queen who is out of town visiting my family? You just read a question for her. Oh, okay, cool. We'll read one more and then we're going to continue. Jopi for 200 Swedish krona says, people need to keep in mind that the conflict in Ukraine is sustainable. Both sides should end where they can manage. No room to explain here. But the key points, both sides will fail. No victory. I'm off-topic politics stuff. But I mean, once again, I live in a part of the world where, we have expats from everywhere in the world. China, America, Russia, Ukraine, Japan, Korea, Philippines, Vietnam. We all get along. I love my life here in Southeast Asia. In the Philippines, there's people from all over the world as well. We all get along. We all have a great time. We all enjoy the hospitality of these nations and how amazing they are to live in. And that's something we want to keep going. We want them to keep being hospitable. We don't want these places that are hospitable to change because of bad actors, right? It makes the life worse for expats. It really does. Okay, let's continue with this. So the overall circumstances can aggravate punishment. So this is something Romula actually brought up, and I want to put a little point on this. So his behavior and the fact that he profited from this can actually make the punishment worse. They can use that as an aggravating factor to punish him even more severely, right? And this is going to take years to process. So think about that. After years of trial, he might face another 5, 10 years of punishment. Absolutely crazy. Jopi said V in Ukraine was Vitaly, not victory. Oh, okay, got it. Vitaly. Okay, got it. Thank you. I will bring food to Vitaly some peg. Geronimo says, wasn't this guy catching predators? Now he's in jail. Well, you know what? He went from doing something good to, now it's bad. Basil for 125 says, funny how the government said 64 pesos a day was the threshold for not to be considered as food poor. Yeah, well, there you go. 70, just over that. Jeremy says, so glad they're winning stupid prizes for playing stupid games. Alpha said, isn't the fact he can get money for his video streams proof of malice? Doing bad for money is not. Yeah, I agree. I think they could prove malice, but I don't want them to even have to prove it. I'd rather it be easier. Also, 2 bros for 5 said, enjoyed the family-friendly stream today. I learned so many new words. I can't wait to share with my friends. Curva. Final Fantasy for 4.99 says, what's also amazing is RKI can no longer claim that nobody goes to jail for doing this. Thanks, Philippine. Exactly. This is an example for Johnny Somali. This is an example for Korea. They can say, look at what happened to Vitaly. And we are going to prevent future Vitalis by this. We're going to prevent future Somalis through punishing Vitaly. Speaking of which, let me read this one. Silbury said, I've been sending my Philippine attorney uncle your clips since RKI. He's not friends with the president, TMK, but gets in the same room. Well, cool. I had somebody just mention me. They emailed me and saying they're very well connected. So I think I'm going to get back to that person. I am happy to have some top level conversations on this. I think it would be interesting. Mika also said, come to the Philippines. We'll roll out the lechon, sisig, sinigang, and adobo, and balut just for you. I have had all of those, including balut. So I am well experienced. Also, Sobi says, Romula probably subscribes. Yes. True. All right. Let's continue on the next one. Let's talk about the cameraman. So this is really interesting. The cameraman here, Christopher P. Dantes, #1 kick streamer from the Philippines, IRL live kick streamer. He calls himself part of CX Philippines. If we, if we point out a lot of the issues, the CX squad is on the periphery of that. And as we see, there's going to be 1 degree of separation to Johnny Somali. 1 degree of separation to Johnny Somali. And I'm going to show you guys this with the cameraman. So here's Sly Kane's channel. He's on Kick. And he's got 17.3K followers. He was last live 2 weeks ago, so he's definitely gone into hiding. He's offline, right? He's hiding out. And beyond that, he actually is deleting some of his social media. You see, he's actually deleted his X account. He completely wiped his X account altogether. But one of the things that's been very interesting is showing who he knows. And this is from another channel, but actually look at who he's affiliated with. Now, this is an older clip, but watch him talk about who he's homies with, right?
Clip where he was saying good things about Ice Poseidon for gifting him this car. And everyone who knows Ice Poseidon also knows Ice doesn't give anything to anyone without getting something from them.
If it wasn't given by Ice and if it was given to me by anyone else, I would have sold this in a heartbeat in like a week or even like a few days. I'd sell it. But because it was given to me by Ice.
And people,
And
streamers,
all of my friends, all of my streamer friends were on this thing and did a legendary trip with it. It just makes it the more special. Ice could have given this to anyone else, but he gave it to me.
Yeah.
So that holds a little place in my heart, no matter how scuffed it is.
So the guy, that's the guy. He has Facebook there, but that's Sly Kane. So 1 step of separation from that whole crew. One step of separation from that, 1 step to Somali, 1 step over with all those guys. So these guys, once again, this is going to affect those other IRL streamers. They're absolutely right now looking for other places to go, right? They're having to leave Japan. They're not acting up in Korea. They're hiding out there, and they're thinking, oh, can we come to Philippines? We know our bro Sly Kane is there. Chris Dantes is there. Let's go over there. Let's go hang out with Chris. And I think they're going to reconsider that choice now that they see what's happened here. And I think that none of them are going to have the courage, because they're all cowards, to go and try that same content in the Philippines. Stuff like breaking and entering, stuff like trespassing, stuff like insulting people, stuff like insulting the country. I don't think they have the courage to even try that at this point, right? So I think it's a good thing. I really think it's a good thing to do it. And if they tried, I'm sure they would end up in exactly the same place. I'm sure they would end up in exactly the same spot as Vitaly. Captain says, Kamusta from a Filipino native. Let's get to some of these chats. Letters and Numbers says he may not be able to maintain his size or prison meals alone, but I'm sure his fellow inmates are willing to provide him with some additional protein. I don't know what protein you're talking about, Letters and Numbers. I don't know what that would be. Mark says, I want to take the #1 PH streamer from him. Go, let's do it. Sleazy says, Pina waifu, says everyone there wants him under jail. Good. Glad you got that good Pina waifu. Yeez says, PH has more gun rights in Japan. Yeah, how do I know? I own 2 required licenses, and Thailand has the most guns registered in ASEAN. Philippines is number 2. I know that as well. 2 countries which I happen to be in. Sobery for 5 says, it begs reminding that Philippines gave Imperial Japan hell in World War II, and Imperial Japan did war crimes and comfort women. It's not a joke. They're tough. Yeah. The comfort women thing was big. Philippines, China, Korea, a lot of countries. Jopi says it's not about why you feel, it's how you like. I agree. Trance Forever says, do you have any updates on the cameraman? Are the police looking for him? What are your thoughts? They are looking for him. I do not believe he's been caught, but remember, he is criminally indicted. So he has been, he's included in the charges that have already been brought. So they can pick him up at any point. They can pick this guy up at any point, which is fantastic. Also, Andre says, are you Kim Wexler or Jim McGill's kid? No. Joseph says, gee, gotta go. Clients arrive. Here's 2 more days. Thank you for that. Luap says, for 20, glad these morons are live streaming their crimes. Exactly. It's helping us lock them up. Jin Blade says, Andrew doesn't know the language too well, but at least he tries and respects the country, unlike certain others. Also, 10 gifted. Thank you, Jin. I do try. Once again, look at me. I'm a simple country lawyer. In fact, let me play the Alex Jones clip. I have a confession for you guys. A true confession.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
I'm actually, look, I'm kind of clever, but I'm not that smart. And there's some things I'm pretty stupid in. And I'm not perfect. My pronunciation isn't great, but I try. And I've never been to a country where I have tried to pronounce a word or tried to say something and somebody has like been rude to me, right? At least in places where rudeness isn't like the couture, like Paris, right? Where like everybody's rude in Paris. It's just that's Paris, right? Welcome to Paris, right? That's like part of the charm of Paris, right? People like that about Paris, whatever. You know, even, and by the way, I have lots of friends that live in the countryside of France, and I have family in the countryside and friends in the countryside. And like the countryside is great, friendly, whatever, but it's Paris specifically. But anyways, you know, I have never tried to say something and had somebody be like, "Oh, how dare you try to pronounce this word?" Oof. You know, that's never been something that's happened to me ever. Best clip ever. Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Sorry. Did I just burn Paris? Okay. I'm gonna get like my one Parisian fan that's gonna like come back. And even they would be like, You're right, Andrew. You're right. 105 countries. That's my only thing I can say. But anyways, look at me. I'm smiling about it. I'm not even unhappy about it. I understand that there's certain different cultures, different cities. Like for example, if you're in big cities tend to move faster than the countryside. That's a general dynamic around the globe. If you're in the capital, it moves faster than the countryside. They have a different charm. I actually like fast-paced life generally for living. So I like the city. I like that it's a little bit more, you know, fast paced, going quick, right? The countryside's good for relaxing, good for chilling, good for vacation, right? So there's pros and cons to everything. And some people like the countryside all year round. Some people like the city all year round. You know, teach their own adventure, right? But everybody, no matter where I am, does appreciate that I do try with the language, at least a little bit. Kevin says, I can see RK spending most of his natural life in Korean prison due to his discrepancies. Vitaly will serve a short sentence, but harsher sentence in comparison. I agree. Super Christian Me World says, sup, Legal Mind said both Diddy and the Somali trials in 1 month. Baby, we're eating good. And we love a lawyer who swears and is an otaku gamer. I am not that much of a gamer anymore. I'm definitely still an otaku, but I'm not a gamer. D-Meezy says, U.S. Embassy has the right to leave him. U.S. Embassy doesn't do anything for you. U.S. Embassy is not going to help this dude. No. Jay Crispy says, Tondo, Manila was only an hour away from where he was filming. It would have ended worse for him if he started filming there. Adam Grooville says for £5, that's 96 pence a day for the UK. He can have 3 free Freddos per day. Amanda says for $5, he can't even eat from the Dollar Tree because for $125, he's going to need new britches. See you in 2040, Vitaly. Oof. Idol says, can he use his millions? No, from what I understand, although I guess he could have people bring him stuff, but I still think there may be some limitations there. Luxury says, no AC, 70 pesos for 3 meals. Man's got to deflate, especially with the summer season coming up. Yeah. Nate Cornejo says for 125. Basically, he's effed either way. Have you seen the jails? It's so bad. I swear he got arrested where politics is a major thing this time of year. Well, then he picked the wrong time. Digital Lee says 70 pesos. That's more money than Johnny Sosmali receives in his streams. I know that's more than his stipend from Hank. Redra for 50,000 Indonesian rupiah says, welcome to SEA, Vitaly. Shout out to my Pinoy brothers from Indonesia. Good job. Show them classic Southeast Asia hospitality. Kim for 70 says, my dogs will have a better life than this guy. Smoggy Moggy Cat Herder for 5 says, are steroids illegal? Remember how prior admin treated drug users? I'm not sure what he's on. He looks juicy, but I can't confirm it yet. We'll get some answers there. Tony says he's going to look like a tomboy after 5 years for 50 Philippine pesos. Big Buddhist for 2 says, buff honey badger gives no Fs. Dempsey says, take citizenship from him. That's on Russia. Sobi says, what glorious days. RK updates yesterday, the Vitaly updates today. Just a matter of time before Kick gets heat. Kick does need to catch some heat because they are a common denominator with a lot of this, and they were a common denominator in the Vitaly case. So that would be a smart thing for them to do. We got a big 50 from Bob. Thank you so much for Aussie. Crikey. 50 says, it's great what Philippines and Korea are doing. I believe Japan acted proportionally in regards to RKI. Japan and most countries' norms do not require laws for bad behavior. RKI also misled them as it was his first events. Hopefully Japan gets similar. Here's the problem. They're going back to Japan. More people have been coming to Japan. I'm probably going to go hardest on Japan because Japan should know by now and should take action. Japan knows they're getting flooded with tourists, and they know a lot of these are nuisance streamers. We literally just had people doing push-ups on a tree. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this, but even Johnny Somali got in on this in order to mock BitSkiff. Johnny Somali went out today and he in Korea did like a pull-up on a cherry blossom tree, right? And this was to mock Mitskiff and those guys over there in Japan. I'll show you guys this this video here. Hold on. So hold on. Here's Johnny. This was like today. He did this today.
Shout out Mitskiff. Nigga, fuck Japan.
Yeah.
Shout
So
out
that was Johnny today. That was Johnny today. So he's deciding to act around, to still say F Japan even later. Yeah. People just are acting up in Japan, and this they need to stop this behavior. Rayobi says for 10 for Canadian. Well, the days in the VTuber saga last year, you brought a lot of attention to the horrible practice of VTubers. Now with Ramsey news streamers, your coverage has been correct. Thank you. I'm trying to bring good to the sectors I cover, and I'm trying to go deep on these topics. I know I need more time for other stuff, but my time is really limited. But I really want to stop this, and I feel like with Ramsey and Vitaly, we have a chance to really stop this in Asia. I feel like we can do it, and we're winning. And so let's keep winning. Let's keep winning, guys. Jopi says for 10 for 100 Swedish krona. What about the what it's like super chat? I sent it when the talk was about Americans have any special rights when I'm forced. So, okay. The timing when you read it out was awkward, out of context. We're sorry. I don't always get to everything immediately because when you have 100 chats, you got to go back. So I do apologize, but I try my best. Sometimes it happens. Like right now, I'm going back. This is in the beginning. Raby says, so you're saying that Vitaly is cooked and going to be redder than char siu. I love that. I love char siu. So I have a place called Chopsticks in Bangkok that has really good char siu. I can't pronounce it right. In Filipino prison. Yeah. So anyways, good stuff. El Eagle Disciple of I really want Chinese now. You just got me a craving. El Eagle Disciple of Wah for 50K Vietnamese dong says, how do you like your criminal cooked? Original or extra crispy? Thank you, Eagle. Kirna says for 5, I'd predict no mercy from Secretary of State Rubio for Vitaly, considering the relationship with the Philippines and past remarks about residents, not citizens. I agree. Paul Lim for 5, Singapore says, didn't know Philippines punishes harder than Singapore. Down will be punished that badly if he had come to Singapore. Go Philippines, go! Daryl Savage for 5 says, cabbage and rice, or will it be sticky rice? No, sticky rice is a delicacy. I actually love Isan food, the sticky rice khao niao, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. My Thai people correct me out there. A little bit of lab, a little bit of somtam. It's good stuff. Louis Cali says, Korea versus Ramsey was just the warm-up. The Philippines came out and dropped the mic on all the nuisance streamers. A golden time to make money. Their golden time to make money is done. Agreed. Field team leader for 125 said Vitaly severely miscalculated how petty Filipinos are, and to do what he did in an election cycle is tantamount to Darwinism. I think the word petty is not right. I don't think the word petty is right. This is just because the word petty in English implies that it's like immature. I think this is justice. I don't think this is immature at all. I think it's maturity. And I don't think you necessarily meant that the wrong way. I just think this is actually like appropriate. I don't think it's petty at all. I think he did this intentionally, wanting to harm people. He threatened to rob an old woman. He threatened to destroy somebody's business that they worked hard on their whole life. Yeah, no, he needs to work on. He needs to be punished for that. Big Buddha says you read the honey badger line late, so it lost its context. The base secretary. Yeah, we know. Ramula is the base secretary, and he is the honey badger. He doesn't give a damn. Max Power for 10 says, it was just Hank, bro. It was just a Hank, bro. Ramsey and probably Vitaly's closing argument. I get that. Instead of a prank, it's a Hank. Hank is a prank. It's true. Brew 70 Thank you. Or was it Brute? It's like Brute and Leet. Thank you for that. Let's go back here. Tracy Hessels for 5 says, I think it's great that you're making more money talking about Vitaly's downfall than he makes falling out. It's hilarious. This is a lesson that positive content can make more than negative content. Thank you guys, because we have by far destroyed Vitaly's, earnings on just covering Vitaly, which is great. Which is absolutely great. Thank you so much. Also, thank you to the 241 new memberships today. Thank you guys for that. That's absolutely amazing. It's very generous of you. I deeply appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nico says for Singapore 5, knowing that Atosi's coverage on Vitaly helps speed up this entire process makes me appreciate the YouTubers. And we have a synergy, right? Atosi makes a short video. I make a stream that can go into detail. It's more interactive. This generates more interest. You guys bring me questions from Atosi's videos because Atosi does an overview, but he doesn't know the details. My strength is the details, but also the interaction, right? So we go back and forth off of each other. And that's really amazing. I love that. I love that kind of synergy with us. And it's cool. It's great. D. Wilson says, forced to work off of medical issues, forced at home for car issues. You're entertaining content, saving lives. Thank you. Thank you. James Beeshing for £5 says, Vitaly in prison has made my whole week. Being in prison is going to make Vitaly's. Oh, man. Glaza for 125 Philippine pesos. We made a huge mistake of being an asshole here during election season. Politicians are going to make an example out of him. I hope they do. He got to make a fan club for the civilian police sergeant. Yeah, we need to find out. It'd be interesting if he can give back. I was talking to Eric, and if there's a way to give back to the people that were harmed, that would be nice. Ria for 125 says he cites mental health problems. He can be transferred to the National Center for Mental Health, where he'll learn what demon time is about. Oof. Also, Charles clarifies for 75. Peg is leftover food scavenged from garbage. Yeah, I know what that is, but for the audience. Ria said legal mindset. Can I have a mega base clip for the Pinoys? Yes, I can. I'll give you a mega based. Hold on. Anime girls saying mega based. Where is this? Shondo, there she is.
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
For all the Pinoys. Kuro Kumushi says, when I was last in the Philippines, it was 36 Celsius at 2 a.m. He's going to get cooked day and night. I've experienced that in the 90s at night. Mike said, 15 minutes of shame about Big Dog. He was in the Philippines. The video was Beijing. Okay, I'll have to check that out, but thank you. Exo Sean says it's going to be a water festival in a few days in Myanmar. I know Thailand celebrated the festival. Yes, I am very busy for Songkran, so I will probably not be actively streaming for Songkran. This is my first Songkran in Thailand. It's one of the reasons why I can't go to Korea, because of Songkran. I have so many people visiting. It's so busy, so I will be out for the water festival. So if you see me on the streets of Thailand during Songkran, you can say hi. Increasingly more people are saying hi on the streets here. Yeah, I will be out there enjoying Songkran. So if you're out there in a country with a water festival, enjoy it. Also, if you're in a country that has a Thai community, check that out. I know there's a big Thai community in Hong Kong, and they're going to do a Songkran there and other places. So, check that out if you've got a Thai community where you're at. It's a very important festival, and it's a really fun time of the year. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Joseph, Joe, my bro Joe says, running 20 minutes late by the time I send it. You made my commute to Naples 1,000 times more enjoyable. Here's a week of food for you. Odep says for 125 Philippine pesos, we usually fight each other, but two things can unite us: celebrating Pinoy pride like an athlete's win, or insulting Pinoy pride. Yep. Rain says for 125, this is where Philippines taxpayer money goes, and I support it. Glaucia Aquila Nikiforos Felimid for 50 Danish krona says 92. My uncle was born in the 70s and looks younger than Vitaly. He looks like shit. Lloyd says 50. Here's Peep Tea for the swear jar. Thank you. Snowfire says for 5. Being an LPR, he could lose that status being out of the U.S. for years. LPR status removal for Korean criminal activity, and if there's regulations on how long in the U.S. Yes, he might lose his status in the U.S. if he's out for too long. That's true. Razor Wire for 5 says they perp walked him out and put him on display like a trophy buck. More like a trophy rat, or a trophy, like, I don't know. Even a raccoon is too good for him, right? He's some sort of like garbage critter. Jan Eli Padilla. You know what? In Thai, I would call him a water monitor. And for those that know Thai and know the word for water monitor, I'm just going to leave that out there for my Thai people. It's a little reference there. His mistake was he messed up in a country with the most vindictive, terminally online people in Asia. Well, it doesn't help that they also English is very widely spoken by everybody. For 10, yes, brute in Leet speak. Yes, I do speak the Leet. On the topic of the temperature in the Philippines, I was there for a wedding as a kid, and my main memory is rain boiling and turning into fog. It was so hot. Oof, that's hot. Bad News Badger says the thing that ties us together is respect. None of them had been in serious trouble had they shown respect. Agreed. Deportation and travel ban at most. Funny how no one likes to be disrespected. I know, it's almost like common human decency. It's almost like you should be actually a decent human. And even if you make a mistake, even if you accidentally offend someone, if you sincerely and genuinely apologize, they're going to give you grace and they're going to forgive you. I've never had a situation where I've made a mistake and someone didn't forgive me. I mean, yesterday I was out outside a bar, and I was walking along the street, and I kicked somebody's Coke. They were out smoking a cigarette, and I kicked their Coke. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can I go buy you another one from 7-Eleven? Like, I'll buy it right now. Like, and they could get pissed at me because it was a pretty full Coke. Like, I could have knocked it over. And he's like, no. And I went to 7-Eleven and I bought the Coke and I gave it to him, and he's like, oh no, you didn't have to do that. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. It's my mistake. Right. They're not going to jump up and like punch you in the face for just making an honest mistake. Right. I mean, Coca-Cola. Right. I mean, Coca-Cola. Right. I think it was a Coke Zero, actually. But anyways, when you make a mistake, right, it's if you're honest about it, people are going to be benevolent. And that's the key. Right. That's the key. All right. Thumb Ugly says instead of petty, maybe vengeful. Well, yeah, but it still sounds a little bit bad, but I get what you're trying to say. Boo Boo for 125 says, honestly, he's lucky he got arrested and not found in the river, not breathing and not found at all. Yeah. Very lucky that even prison, at least it won't be that bad of things that happen to him. We'll just say that. Scott says, Scott Bui for 499. Will news streamers stop coming to Japan if Japanese people fight back? If the law changes. I think it's not enough for people to do vigilante justice. It's not enough for somebody to get punched, right? Because there's ways around that, hiring bodyguards, etc. It will only change if they get arrested and they get deported and they get banned. The only thing that's going to change is if the law changes. That's it. Usagi Akimbo says, I apologize for roping expats in on this, but we tried to be nice. We tried to let others handle it. We tried to talk about it. It only gets worse. When do we have to handle it ourselves? I get what you're saying, but it's first of all, as expats, we should be very respectful of the laws in the country and, let the people in the country, I think, handle it their way instead of trying to do it our way, right? I mean, we're guests in their country, so we should be, thoughtful of that. But the people of the country will handle it, in their way that their culture dictates, right, as appropriate. But I think the thing we can do as expats that I am doing is bringing attention to it. And I think others can bring attention to it. And I think that does help. And for example, if somebody is an expat and you're in a country where there's a language barrier, maybe you can help translating it. Maybe you can help getting it in their local language. I think we see with the Philippines, I think that's a big deal, is that they understand what he's doing and they understand it's English. So how about as an expat, you help the translation? That's helped a lot. In the Johnny Somali case, it's been a big part of how we've gotten this out there is through translation of good information. So just want to put that out there. Ryobi says, oh yeah, Shibuya Kaho. Yeah, and she's going to actually have an interview with my friend Josh Meme Copium, which is really cool that he may have an interview with her. She had been badmouthed by Miskiff. Yeah, he said bad things behind the scenes just because of a tweet. Like, dude, don't be an idiot in a foreign country. It's sad. She'd be looking fine though. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. She used to be a former AV star. But beyond that, she did nothing wrong in calling out Miskiff and the others. Now, to be clear, I want to give an update. Both Miskiff and Tokyo Sims apologized. If they are sincere about their apology, then that's fine. But I hope they stop their nuisance streaming behavior in the future and they are more thoughtful. Especially, I called out Tokyo Sims because he lives in Japan. So he was doing the stupid stuff on the Sakura tree and he should have known better. He's Japanese. He's part Japanese, I believe. So he should know better. Right. So As long as you apologize sincerely, I'm okay, but it better be sincere. It better not be a Somali apology. A Tozy plus legal mindset. CoffeeZilla for Asia. I like that. I'll take that title. That's not bad. Inori Yuzahara for 4 months says, to be honest, I only know V exists because of your stream. Well, there you go. I'm happy I informed you. Just got here. How much did I miss? Literally everything. Go rewind. We're also going to have a clip. Don't worry. My Clipper Eagle will get it done. Silbury says, predicting it now. At some point, future nuisance streamer will claim they're doing it to unite people as if the rest of us aren't wise to it. No. They're trying everything, but they're not going to get out. David Shred says, by the way, if you can get through an hour without saying the F word at least 10 times, you don't swear a lot. Well, I violated it a couple times, but it's been 2 hours, and I think 2.5 hours, and I only think I've said it like a couple times, like once or twice or maybe 3 times max. Not too many times. Castman for 777 for 5 says, if Somali is convicted of sexual harassment of children, will he have to register as a sex offender? I don't know. I have to look into reciprocity. That's something I need to do the research on. Baked Buddha says, call the streamer show Nuisance House. Putting them all in the same place in prison. Yeah, that'd be good. Nuisance House. Michael Muddragon for 5 says, when they asked the purpose of his visit, he neglected to say business. He also neglected to say crime. Louis Cali for 5 said, back to Ramsey, CS criminals in the U.S. don't do too well in the general pop. Will there be any isolation for Ram? Nope. Mig Jack said if he did this in Russia, he would leave in an ambulance. Even he said that. He said I'd be beat up in Russia for this. Inori for 25 Hong Kong says, had he been to Bohol and Cebu a decade ago, still remember me sweating like Niagara Falls, even in air conditioning. Can't imagine how bad he'd be stuck behind bars. Yeah, it's going to be rough. Last said for 125, Pinoys, we need to start compiling a list of nuisance streamers and submit it to BI. Stop them from entering. If you guys have a list, I will help put it out there. I will help push it. I will circulate it on social media. I am happy to assist in any way I can, the Philippines or any other country, in stopping these people. If you guys have a way that I can practically and realistically stop these people, I will do it. I will help. ENGRDL for 125 says Christopher should surrender himself and be a witness versus Vitaly. He can be spared or have a lower sentence or being an accomplice. He should cooperate. Just like Ramsey, when Ramsey didn't cooperate, it got worse. I think for Chris Dantes, aka Sly Kane, if he cooperates, it may be a little lighter, but if he continues to flee from justice, it's going to be bad. Randy Matsunaga for 499 says Philippines history has its share of turncoats and adds Sly Kane to that list that sells his own countrymen in for cash and clout. Clotho V. Melonium. Hey, Clotho says for 5 Canadians, so dumb he tries in the Philippines, lived there for 13 years, and I knew he'd be screwed for messing with security and cops. Dehako for 5 says stereotypes about the Philippines are being overly friendly, but Vitaly's arrest shows they don't mess around. Yep. James Richard for 499 said, hey, what about the woman with the cameraman? She was paying people. She could face charges as well. Yee says, if you're in the Philippines, let's go to the range. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I'd love to go fire some pew-pews. I used to go to the range every week in the U.S. Law Ire 2B for €5 says, saw Rammstein in Paris. Learned, sorry, excuse me, may I have this? Took public transportation. Everyone was super nice. 5 days on the cheap, not so nice. €4. €4? Fear? Oh, no. €4. Oh, teuer. Sehr teuer. Robert von Beek for €6 says, why do Americans often have the illusion that the embassy will come to the rescue? I see that comment, or I'm American. Greetings from NL. Here's the thing. It's in a lot of movies, and that's why Americans watch movies, and they think from the movies and TV shows that the embassies are like an episode of 24 or some action movie, and they go out there to save people. And really, in reality, the embassies are some of the most bureaucratic nightmares out there. I was at the embassy today, and let me just be clear. I love the people. They're very nice, but it reminds me of the DMV, okay? And those people that know the Department of Motor Vehicles in America, it reminds me of the DMV. We're just going to leave it there, okay? Thomas says for $4.99, 2 topics to mix things up. Revisiting Stellar Blade Cope as the PC comes out, and Diddy's trial. So much ring a shift up, and for what? Yeah, no, I mean, Korean games and Chinese games are going to continue to be popular. I think they're going to grow in popularity, just like K-pop is growing in popularity and K-drama. When I was in the Philippines, people weren't watching American shows as much as K-dramas, right? So I think Eastern stuff is going to continue to grow. And that's why I like being over here, because this is the source, right? Asian Dragon 456 for 499 says also combine Mom and Trill and other small channels who are reacting news streamers. Yeah, shout out to Mom and Trill. Clotho says if you like drinking and if you ever visit the Philippines, you got to try drinking food or pulutan. Sisig is one of the best and my absolute favorites. I like sisig. I had a tuna sisig at this one place. It was actually really good. Bob for 5 says, like RKI and Koreans, even if Vitaly returns to the U.S., the Filipino community in the U.S., which has a huge diaspora, will remember. Yep. They won't forget. Ryobi said, sorry, but looking how Gen Alpha is growing and exposed to, I feel to be worse or may end up copying Ramsey or Vitaly. That's why they need the crackdown. Gen Alpha does copycat. And there are a bunch of kids that are out there copycatting. I'm watching them do it. And we need to stop them from copycatting by showing them consequences. A lot of Gen Alpha is grown up in what is a consequence-free world. I grew up as an elder millennial in a severe consequence culture. If I screwed up, I was punished harshly, very harshly. Maybe not as harshly as like 1792, but like relative to today, yes, I was pretty much an indentured servant. By today's standard, they would actually probably jail my parents for having consequences, for my actions. But I'm thankful for that. And I think a part of it is knowing that when you do something bad, there's a consequence. Scott Buie for $4.99. Thank you. Big Buddhist for 5 says, you better than RKI, who seems to talk about anyone without saying the N-word every other word. Yeah. Once again, there's a big difference between myself and nuisance streamers. Sobal Zainal says for 9 Malaysian ringgit, insincere IRL apology equals somology. Oh, I like that. I'm going to use this. Somology. I like that. Kevin for 20 says, as a former expat, what has happened to blending in with the locals in a positive way? I'm angry these streamers for portraying us in a negative light. I agree. That's why I'm pissed too. I try to blend in. I do my best. I just got my Thai driver's license. I'm so happy I can like drive here legally. I'm blending in more. And like a lot of Thais are like, I don't even have Thai driver's license. I'm like, yeah, I got a driver's license. But that's what I try to do. I try to be mistaken for a local. When I'm in Europe, I'm happy when someone speaks to me in German or French or Dutch or whatever else because they think I'm a local. That's my most happy moment. I don't get uncomfortable. I actually smile and I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then I'll take a second to respond and they'll realize I'm speaking English and they'll switch to English, right? But it's a good thing to blend in and people should try to do that. Lazy801 for 99 says, I know it's a stretch, but there's a mechanism in which platform execs, Kick Party, can be charged under something called RICO for crimes in the U.S. Do they receive a cut of the donations? Yes, but that's a much harder case, and it's got to be based on U.S. crimes, not foreign crimes. Final Fantasy says, obligatory, you can't spell wank without Hank. Thank you. Tomakin says, if Vitaly's good behavior, receive banana. Gasperia says you need a marquee at the bottom of the screen that flashes in large friendly letters. Says embassy won't save Somali Vitaly. Trust me, bro. It's more than trust me, bro. It's more than trust me, bro. Natasha says, aren't you too tall to blend in? Not in Europe. I'm like Dutch height or German height, like for sure. I can blend in there. In fact, my German family has members that are taller than me. I was at my the wedding of my cousins in Germany, and there were people that were over me, like over 2 meters. Like 6'8" in America in freedom units, 6 feet and 8 inches. And there's one guy I think was 6'9". Like I look like a midget. Ryobi for 10 says, congrats on driver's license. Now one question, VTuber to Ben when? I said the next couple months. Don't worry. It's coming. Don't worry. I haven't forgot about it. Also, Patrick Elza for 10. First rule of the PI Mafia, don't mess with the PI Mafia. Second rule of the PI Mafia, don't talk about the PI Mafia. Scott H says, can the court consider his prior U.S. assaults? I don't know. I think they can consider his overall record, but we'll talk about that more in the future. That's a good question. Why you hating? Says, oh Johnny boy, the cabbage fields are calling. Thank you. Joel said, hold these scumbags accountable for their actions. Agreed. Chuck Taylor for $1.99 says, sheesh. Imagine what they will do to his friends. It ain't going to be pretty. Thea for Vitaly's ration, 70 pesos, says Vitaly will be pissing off the most hospitable people. He fucked up with that. He could have had a great time in the Philippines. He decided to go to jail for maybe up to a decade, or more than a decade. It's possible, but at least 7 or 8 years minimum. Sparks says for 2, RKI should throw some noodle soup to Vitaly daily. Ramen the Hood for $1.99 says, let's not forget how humid it is in there. Snowfire for 2 said, this is the world saying stop nuisance streamers. Jeremy for 70 say he's lucky he didn't get the range 999 treatment. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't think it's fun. Michael Rule said, looks like I'll be watching the VOD. I'll see you in the comments. He also said, as Frieza would say, damn monkeys. Mr. 24/7 Gaming for 50 said, again, let him loosen Tondo. He won't last long. Arsor Dune Rider for 2 said, RKI and Vitaly will be the new goats. Fraudism for 50 says, Big Dog Strat fled to China and has gone missing. Well, there you go. I mean, China may have disappeared him. That can happen. Unlock Philippines. This is Outdoor Experience for 5. That's Eric. Said he will be live to help anyone. But if he ends up in physical altercation, he can be arrested too, even if he didn't start it. Yeah, and you have to stop the physical altercations and not get involved. Michael Ruas said, I'm Dutch and I'm 1.52. Yeah, but I've seen Dutch people that are taller than me as well. So there are short Dutch people and there are tall Dutch people. There's tall Americans and short Americans, right? But European, there tend to be more tall people. There are tall people in Europe. Razor Wire for 2 says, DMV mines lose slower than RKI trial on slow-mo. Cat Smash, are Pinoys the Asian version of the Irish? The Irish? It's wildly specific, but interesting choice. Maybe, I don't know. Interesting. Ruthless Mindset said for 279, Jetty Somali does not include time served. Does Vitaly? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be time served. Chuck Taylor says the victims should be paid restitution. I agree. Ryobi said, just like Cabbage Boy, they can't leave good news. Bronwyn says, is the cameraman under a travel ban? I think if he tried to leave, they would nab him because there's a warrant out for him. So they would get him at the airport, I imagine. Boo Boo for 50 says, I'll say it because I can. Peck peck. Oh, no. You made me say, I know what that word means. You made me say, where is it?
No. Wait.
I know what that word means. R.I.P. I read it before I thought. Oh God, I'm canceled now. I'm so canceled now. Oh no. Hold on. I think I have a clip for this. Where is it? I think I've got it somewhere. Okay, this is a really loud clip, so turn down your volume a little. Volume warning. Loud VTuber incoming.
Oh, please! I'm sorry! I didn't mean it! Wait.
Bye, VOD of the day. Cancel. Gin Blaze for 100 says, my father taught me freedom under responsibility. You can have so much freedom as long as you want. You're responsible and take accountability for your own actions. More people need this philosophy. I agree. Iron Morph places Pinoy here. I'm glad they did that in commercial areas, not ghetto areas. Punches considered lucky. Some areas are hostile to foreigners. There's some areas where he could have disappeared. Gonzo says, number 1 lawyer on YouTube. The second is the Eagle. I mean, I'll take that, but I want to put that dirty bird down even lower. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, guys. I'm going to rise up there. I want to fully flack down the Eagle and soar up as high as I can here on YouTube. So thank you for that. Obviously, streaming is a little bit different than pre-made videos, but I do what I can. I'm a simple Florida lawyer in Thailand. Ing DL for 50 pesos says, legal mindset, Philippine trials are open to the public. Awesome. Let's go. We're there. We're doing it. Maxim Dubrovine for $6.99 Canadian says Philippines and SK should run a kick stream showing Vitaly and RKI in jail. It can go towards covering the cost of prosecution, keeping them in jail. Yeah, they should stream it live and just like make money off it, like literally run ads and like profit off of it. Stream off of them. That would be awesome. Do it on YouTube. Take super chats. That'd be great. Imperial Party Alt for 5 Canadian says, have you heard the song Johnny Boy by Santiano? It unironically describes RKI's current situation. You should listen to it. I will. I don't want to get copyright striked, so I will not play it. Legal mindset. I know swear. Me. I'm not reading that word. Okay, you guys try to troll me. Actually, I don't know what this means, so I'm not going to read this either. You know what? I'm done reading words I don't know. I'm done reading words I don't know. We're done for today. Also, Boo Boo says sorry, not sorry. No, I don't trust any of you now. This is what happens. This is what happens when you go from a high trust chat to a low trust chat. Literally, this is an example. I was like Japan. Before I was like Japan. Now we're North Korea. Okay. Now I don't trust any of you people. And I'm sending you all to the labor camps. It's North Korea time for chat. Chat, you're officially done. You're officially done, chat. You're done. In fact, I'm gonna hold on. Do I have one to get you guys? Here's one.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Very degenerate chat today. Very degenerate chat. Gonzo says, would it be considered accurate to consider Logan Paul as a progenitor of nuisance streamers? People keep asking this. I don't know if you guys want me to try to blame people. I'm not doing that. I don't want to go back. I'm covering current cases. I'm aware of Logan Paul doing some annoying stuff in the past, but frankly, he doesn't have any active cases in Asia right now. So I'm not really going to go back and open up stuff. Same thing for a lot of the existing nuisance streamers, like, the CX crowd. Like, I know a lot of them have criminal histories, and to the extent that they don't commit new crimes, I'm not like digging up the past stuff that hard, but that to the extent they do, then their past history becomes relevant to their current criminal punishment. So if people are not committing current nuisance streaming activities, then I'm not inclined to cover it as much, right? Because I like active cases, not going back and doing cold cases, right? So I appreciate the question, but I don't want to pin it on one person. I think it's a confluence of things, also a generational shift. Kevin Rochester for 10 says, as someone who lived in the Gulf Coast of the US for 9.5 years, I wish Vitaly the best. I mean, the worst. And last but not least, Ryobi, who says for 5, because the Irish know how to fight back when tread with stupidity. Good fighters like Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor could KO the nuisances for sure. Absolutely. All right, guys, we got through it all, including the, let's put it over here, including this over here, which this is a good one from my locals, which is, what does the S stand for? Legal mindset, spelling issues. Spelling issues. All right, guys. Listen, it's been an excellent one. Thank you so much. Thanks to the locals. Appreciate that. And appreciate everybody here. I really, really appreciate you guys. Love you. Make sure you smash the like button. And I'm going to get some rest while these nuisance streamers like Vitaly are in jail. And all they are doing is...
You are coping the ceiling. You just can't believe what you're seeing. It's you coping the ceiling. The truth it is all day, and now you are more.